Hi everyone, and welcome to this Risen fundraising special of the What the Fuck show. With us as ever are my two wonderful co-hosts, Godless Sewing and Kitty the Atheist. Hi guys.
Hi.
Will's losing his voice, so we might not hear
the
too
mind
much
was
from him
questionable if I ever had it in the first place, but the voice is going to be gone by tomorrow.
And our guests at the moment are my longtime friend and somebody I've been a co-host for many times, Jay, and the ever-lovely Purple. Hi, Peps.
Hello.
And Sam, who is absolutely brilliant and amazing, and everyone should go and sub to.
Hello. Why, thank you.
You got more shield than anyone else there.
Before we get started,
See who Jen's favorite is.
eventually I am going to lose my voice, but I rolled this giant joint in honor of tonight. And in what Michelle Obama used to say is, when they go low, we get high.
I think you might have been stoned when you heard that one. Just
Those were
a little bit. It was
inspirational.
close.
I like that one, though. I'm going to be stealing that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Those were inspirational words from her, so I took them to heart. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat at the moment knows what the purpose of the fundraiser is, because you're all basically my friends and you've all known what's been going on for weeks and months and everything at the moment. But if anyone's new here and wants to know what's happening, I am moving house. Many reasons. When I first was looking at moving house, there wasn't a requirement for it, but there became a requirement between my brother's sickness and my cousin who owns this house has got dementia, so this house is being sold to help fund her going into a home and stuff like that. So I would be homeless if I wasn't shifting anyway. So I'm having to move, and I'm having to do 99% of it myself because of how sick my brother is, and it's just about killing me. So the fundraising is to help pay for the removal list and that, so I can shift without breaking my back and without ending up in hospital myself. So the target I was raising for is $1,500, which I'm absolutely very, very close to at the moment. I'm not even actually sure what I'm actually at the moment, to be honest, because I'm not watching it. I probably should have put it up on the stream.
I was wondering why.
Mental blank, but we'll read it out occasionally. But that's the aim for it, and I'm pretty sure we'll hit that. But this is the last weekend for fundraising after this, because the final move is on Thursday. I'm going to get PayPal to transfer the money across so I can afford to pay the removalists. So that's the plan, to try and hit that. Anything I get over that is going to be put towards the work I have to do on the house, because I bought a house that's a bit run down that needs a lot of work done to it, but that's so I could get something within my budget, which is what a lot of us do when we buy a house. So
Yeah, we have to fix this ceiling for my stripper pole.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
even at the best, having a house is just an ongoing project anyway.
It always is. Yeah, it always is. But I'm looking forward to the challenge, as it were.
If it's not an ongoing project, that's because you can afford to pay people to do it for you.
Well, talking of that, as far as the ceiling part goes, I was going to do that all myself. My brother is selling his car because he technically at the moment he's not allowed to drive, and it may be another 6 to 12 months before he can. And we're like, well, if you got to pay for the licensing and the insurance for this car over that time frame, that's almost the cost of getting a replacement, because it's an older, just run around. The money we're getting for that, because we've already got a buyer, will actually pay to have somebody come in and do a professional job to fix that ceiling. So we are actually putting that money to that. So the other fundraisings will go towards painting and the patching and other bits of patchwork that needs doing, and a couple of windows that need replacing. But all that work I'm going to be doing myself.
I've seen the pictures. All you need is a little bit of drywall and some mud. You'll be all right.
Yeah, we're actually going to put Well, you could do it that way, but because we don't know what the strapping's like above that ceiling, and we know it got water damage, the plan is to get. Actually, we know a tradesman who'll do the whole lot for $600, and he'll actually build a whole under ceiling and do it and do the cornicing, and then all we've got to do is paint it. So I think we'll get that one done professionally, just because we know then that it'll all be structurally sound. Which, I mean, it probably would be if I did it myself, but they can do it in one day, and it is a gaping great big hole in the roof, so it'd be nice to actually be able to use that room and not have me take a week to do it. So, yeah, that room will probably be done. But I'm going to help the guy who does it and learn from him, which means that when it comes to doing the other ones, maybe I can do them myself because they can take a longer time to be done. So,
Do you want to know what the fundraiser's at?
yeah.
Or do you want to wait until the end?
Oh, let's let people know where we're at the moment.
1,490. So
1,490.
$10 away.
We're $10 off. So that's a good
From
place
the
to
goal.
start. So once we get that $10,
well,
we can just end the stream. No, because there is a lot of other costs involved. But
Where's my wallet?
where's your wallet?
End that one real quick. We can end that one real quick.
Shortest WTF stream ever.
Yeah.
Old school Bobcat golf weight style. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
And
Good night, everybody.
By the way, Raven,
you.
thank you so much for tweeting out the fundraiser in the chat. It saves me having to do it. You are absolutely lovely. You and Jay are two of my best friends on here. In fact, I am surrounded by some of my best friends on Twitter at the moment in this stream.
She doesn't like it when you say moving. You have to make sure you say shifting.
To an American, that just sounds like you're going
I
from over
say
there to over
both
here.
though. I don't. We had this
Shifting is like
argument
when I
on
go sit in
Friday
the
with
chair.
Chris.
See,
Hey.
if someone's using the term shifting here, it's going to be shifting your ass.
1,500.
shift
See you,
Ass in the
baby,
gear.
shaking that ass. Yep.
Are we there? Is it there?
1,500.
Yep. 1,500.
Oh, yay! I wish I had streamers. Or like those.
Yay! All right, that's it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Cue party popper noises.
I didn't even have to like say I was gonna put my hat on or get naked or anything. I was gonna say I was gonna do a dance.
I'd just like to ask the chat, what do you guys think of the new intro? The Western.
I got
Western-
to see it earlier.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Kitty and Will got to see it yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. No, because I was actually... I
It was
edited
yesterday.
that during B's stream yesterday. Sorry, B.
We could have so much fun with Western themes. Like when we talk trash about crybabies, we could call it blazing rattles.
Oh, we
I can work
could!
on Western. I can work on Western theme all
Well, that's what I
day
mean.
long.
It means part of that is the title is going to be a play on words for some Western movie, and that's what we're going to do for all the shows. A play on words, and then we'll cover a topic. And that's going to be a lot easier than me having to come up with a weird ass scroll that comes in because of the Star Wars. That was the bane of my life for the entire first season. Will knows the number of times I sat there. I have no fucking clue what to put on this scroll.
That's quite literally how the What the Fuck stream came about. Because we were like, what are we going to call it? And eventually we settled on what the fuck, because we had said that so many times to each other.
What the fuck do we call this?
Yeah,
What the fuck are we going to call it?
It was right in front of our faces.
Yeah. And of course, this is the first season where Kitty is officially a co-host.
Yay.
Yay! So welcome to the crew, Kitty.
Thank you.
We love you.
So I had to make up for the fact that on the sewing circle I had no makeup, so I had to
I've got
like
no
double it
makeup.
up.
I've
To be
already been
fair-
up to. I've already been awake 2 hours, even though it's early morning for me, early-ish morning for me, and working. So
I was
Just-
shocked when I called you and you were awake. I was
yeah,
shocked.
you called me. I've been awake for an hour. I've been throwing stuff in the skip. I've nearly filled that 8 square meter skip, and
The
I've
hell
got more
skip?
stuff I need to get on it
A dumpster.
somehow.
Okay.
Here's another Aussie slang. If Jen says she's pissed, it does not mean she's angry. It means she's drunk.
Drunk, yeah. Actually, unfortunately, in Australian, it can mean both.
Both.
Right, fair.
I said that
so
in
you
the
can
chat.
be drunk and angry and be really pissed.
Right, you're doubly pissed.
I said that in
I
the
thought the
chat.
whole point was that in Australia it was always assumed that the two went together. That if you were drunk,
Drunk, you were
would
pissed.
fight.
I get really mellow and horny when I'm drunk. If anyone's
really?
noticed,
Mellow?
I get
okay, loud. I loud.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I get loud as well. But
I've been many a streams with you drunk off your ass. Mellow is not the word I would.
I get horny and flirty though, don't I, Jay?
Yeah.
Now I have
See,
no
I have-
stuck in my head.
I have two moods when drunk: want to curl up and boisterous.
So mine was I love everybody, and then when I started drinking moonshine, it was like, who's that guy passed out in the corner? Those are my two speeds.
Now, see, I don't get horny when I'm drunk, but when I'm drunk, yeah, I kind of lose the ability to not be mentioning it all the time. That's just kind of my constant state, but usually I can just not bring it up every sentence.
I tell everybody how I really feel about him, and it's usually like, I love you, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for giving me 5 cents when I was in line at McDonald's 50 years ago.
So
Thanks.
hang on, you call them skiffs, Jay, with an F, not a skip.
We call them dumpsters.
Dumpsters, skiffs.
Ah, okay, because they're a skip here. So
Yeah, that's what I thought you said was skip. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, it's got a P with a P.
Yeah. Because
yeah,
a skiff is also a type of boat too. So.
Ah, okay.
It's also what Gilligan used to call the skipper. Skip.
Harmonica Man wants to know who the Blues Brother is. That's Jay.
You were on a
you're not from the Nevermore Tavern.
They were on a stream together.
Yeah. Jay and I used to do. Well, it was Jay's show, but we used to do a show in this time slot every Sunday.
Mhm.
yeah, Jay used to do a lot of interesting conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I'm gonna
also,
get back into that.
He's also a co-host for Friday Night Six Pack.
Yep.
So
Speaking
And
of
apparently obsessed with tigers.
Jay was my first friend from the community.
Jen was my first guest on ever.
Yes, I was, along with
That's awesome.
along
Ozzy,
with Diana, Ozzy,
Diana,
and
May.
May. That's right, May.
So-
I
so
completely
Jen-
forget May's name.
Jen's stream, I think it was a Stump Jen stream actually, was the second stream I ever went on, the first being one of Neil's.
So
That was before you put your first content out, wasn't it, Sam?
It was.
It was.
And then it was just like, I have a channel, I intend to put out content, and you were just like, everyone go subscribe anyway, even though there's no
Subscribe.
content.
Yep, because Sam's awesome.
So Jay, how when you say conspiracy theories, how deep do you get into the conspiracy theories?
Oh, brother.
So
He's into rabbit holes.
recently, Kitty and I were on a stream where someone said that COVID was kind of a hoax. Do you
Yeah.
believe COVID is a hoax?
No.
Okay.
No,
we
no.
can still
See, I
talk
don't.
then.
I don't believe the conspiracy theories. We usually debunked them.
Okay.
Yeah, he collects them. They're like
Yeah.
trophies on his.
No, my favorite COVID conspiracy was that 5G is what gave it to everybody.
Ah, that's
Yeah.
great.
That's funny. Like
Yeah.
that one,
Yeah.
I found amusing.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
there
really?
are so many 5G conspiracies. It's
So I we get lost in these YouTube, I fall down a rabbit hole in YouTube, but somewhere out there on YouTube there's a rally in Australia, and this is like a year and a half ago, where everybody is anti 5G. You should go watch it. Just type in anti 5G rally. It is the funniest thing you will ever see in your life. They're like, these people are infecting my children. Who cares about the children? Like, I was on the floor dying.
Oh,
there was
See,
a
my-
group that did the same thing in the UK, and they tried to set fire to the poles, to the towers. They're fucking made of metal, you dipshit.
See,
If you mess with my Wi-Fi, I'm
personal
gonna come at
favorite-
you.
Well,
my
Go ahead,
personal
Tim.
favorite 5G thing was I forget which relative, could have been any of them, but a relative was telling me that it's been clinically proven that if you have 5G passing through a plant, it will kill the plant.
What?
False. There's a tower on the other side of the freeway. That means every plant would be dead from here to.
Are these people not aware that we cop more cosmic rays, even with the Earth's atmosphere filtering them? More radiation from that than we do from any of the radios we normally make ourselves.
There's more radiation from your microwave than there is from 5G.
Yeah.
And
I know.
involuntarily, right now, all the microwaves and everything are running through you anyways,
Yeah.
10
The ones that
billion
find
new.
it hilarious are the people who are, bitching about 5G being this horrible government conspiracy, and at the same time complaining that they can't keep a steady signal on their cell phone.
Well, the biggest thing between the COVID 5G connection is they said, look what happened when the Spanish flu in 1918 when they installed all the telephone towers. Then we had the Spanish flu. So they were correlating it with that.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Okay, but then why haven't we had the Spanish flu for the 100 years since then?
Do these
Because
people
they
understand that
4G,
correlation
4G.
is not causation?
Because they wore masks and they weren't, I'll refrain from that. I was about to go off. Anti-maskers, I am not a fan.
Well, actually, the pandemic, the Spanish flu pandemic, actually, we're doing now what they did it towards the end of theirs, where everybody's like, "Fuck it, I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that really kicked into high gear, because everybody got tired of wearing masks, tired of everything shut down. They said we're not doing it anymore, and then the Spanish flu just went through and decimated later.
That's what's happening in LA right now. Our first lockdown, like, you could go walk on the freeway and no one was. Everybody stayed home. The second time, no one honored it, and people are dying in mass.
We do have one advantage over the Spanish flu in that sense, in that we've actually got a vaccine.
Yeah.
Which
There's
we
another
didn't
one
for the
too.
Spanish flu.
It's like, well, how did we get a vaccine in 8 months when it's supposed to take like 9 years? Dipshits, they've been working on this thing for years, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, they knew that a SARS variant was going to be a problem at some point because SARS has been a problem. So they were working on a way to make a vaccine. All they did was modify that, spent a fuck ton of money, and concentrated all their efforts on it to solve a problem. You can do that if you've got the money and you can divert effort.
Well, and more than anything, they streamlined the bureaucracy. That normally there's a lot of paperwork and testing involved in the approval process. And the governments wanted this out quick, so they said, okay, we're going to skip over 5 steps in the paperwork.
Yeah. Well, there was also the aspect of testing where, we still had, we obviously still had the test. Whoops. Sorry, B. Will and I both clicked on you.
It's because we both have control of the StreamYards. That's why.
You guys flip a coin. Who
I will stop doing it because Will's always on top of it.
I only look like I'm not paying attention.
I bet he is.
That's what it is. And I'm losing my voice.
That's the same problem me and Chris have a lot of times when we bring up
people in it.
I'll bring up something and he'll drop it down. It's like, God damn it.
Exactly.
And I've forgotten what I was saying before, so it obviously wasn't important.
Hi, B.
I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault, B. It was entirely my own.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll take the blame if you want.
I would not blame you for anything.
Oh, B, you're awesome.
Oh, so the project that I was designing on the stream the other night, I was able to finish it.
I've seen this. It's gorgeous.
It's backwards,
Awesome.
but still cool.
Fancy.
Well, actually, I could probably fix that. Hold on.
Yeah, would you? Everything's backwards in our world.
Right?
Right.
So-
Hi, Jay. I haven't seen you in months. How you
It's been a
been?
while, B. How you been?
Oh,
good.
man, I've been great.
Oh, that
Until
totally
today.
messed with my eyeballs.
There we go.
Yay.
20 minutes before I left today, there was 2 leaks
Yikes.
in the building I work in. I was like, are you
Damn.
kidding me? Why did I just censor myself? I'm not at work. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
And you made your friend's day,
beautiful,
didn't you, Kitty? With that.
I did. They were very happy. Now I just have to wait for things to ease up a little bit so I can meet up with them and hand it off. but very
That's
few
awesome.
people know. Like they made a post about it publicly, but it was a subtle post where not everybody would pick up on it, and I did, and I was like, wait a second. So then I checked the pronouns that they had on their Twitter, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I went and I apologized. I was like, I didn't know. And they're like, yeah, it's not your fault. Like nobody knew. It's not. And so, but no, like I felt bad for a second. I was like, did I miss this? Like, was I told? No, I wasn't told. And like I'm racking my brain for like, did I miss anything? And no, it was just, you know. But the post I did, like I said, it was subtle. And, Awareness Day. So like
Visibility Day.
Visibility. That was the one. I couldn't think of the word. Sorry, but it was on Visibility Day. They made a post about it, and I was like, hold on, let me check. Is there something there? Did I miss something? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and see the day after Visibility Day is always Bank Heist Day because we're invisible.
Nice. That's
Send some of
great.
them my way.
Purple just did that recently. Huh, Purple?
Can you see me now?
I have
Absolutely.
always seen you, my friend. I have always seen you.
Absolutely.
Well, like I said, there were a few people who had figured it out long before I said anything publicly.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything about anybody who might have thought that. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get my head.
I mean,
hand down there.
I seem to remember one of our first conversations, Purple, was you making a comment to the effect of you were wondering about it.
Yeah.
So a couple months ago, I unwillingly, well, I can't say it, I overheard something. And so it led me to ask a few questions.
I didn't hear anything, or there was no hints. I got that radar, and I was just like,
Yeah.
well, if Purple wants to, we'll find out.
I think it's awesome.
But I saw it heading that way.
And it's they,
I'm
them.
proud of Purple.
I am the
It's
pronoun
hard to
police.
it's hard to say that, man. It's hard to say that.
Well-
and
Yeah.
Like I said, it was easier when I was with my fiance. It's a lot harder going into it alone.
You're not
Yes.
alone, though.
no, God, no, Purple.
No, you surrounded
No,
by
and-
those fuckers.
I have to give Sloth Girl credit that it's weird for her because she's known me all my life. So her
Yeah.
adjusting is a bit of a problem, and I can understand that. But she's trying her best to be supportive.
How is Sloth Girl? I ain't seen her in a while.
Well, she doesn't get online, but you know she's been in the side chat of most of my streams lately.
She doing okay?
Yeah,
She has
Um,
the greatest one-liners.
things have been a little rough for her because she's got the MS, and the only medication that's effective for suppressing the MS leaves her immunocompromised. So during COVID, she's decided it was better to not be taking the meds.
That's the worst. That is the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah, that's a pretty lousy choice to have to make. But
Yeah.
Being immunocompromised is not the best way to be. Unfortunately, it's one of those things my brother's looking at because if he gets I mean, he's sick now with the way things are, but if he ends up with the transplant, yes, the other stuff will get better, but he'll be permanently immunocompromised because of the drugs he'll have to be on. So
yeah, to prevent the tissue rejection, they have to.
I
suppress that.
yeah,
I have to hide in the house because I'm immunocompromised, and most people don't even wash their hands when they go to the bathroom.
Oh, people are so gross.
So I oh, you're muted, B.
you muted B.
I was a truck driver. I'm not going there with guys not washing their hands.
Yeah.
I used to have the truckers would come out of the bathroom and I'd be going in and I'd go in the bathroom and come out. And then that same guy would be at the cash register with like grease and filth on his hands. And I'm like, dude, I saw you come out of the bathroom. I know
Touching
you were in
everything. Touching
Like,
everything.
what
yeah.
does, I mean, not to be gross, but not that I usually go around thinking about guys' dicks, but
To
what
provide
does
a
his dick look
segue,
like?
does that mean a lot of truck drivers are like Florida Man?
To be fair, a lot of truckers are
Maybe.
Florida. A lot of truckers are Florida men.
Okay, but here's the thing. All right. Now, don't get me wrong. I laugh at the Florida Man stories as much as the next person. But there's a reason why. like those stories don't only happen in Florida. They happen
no,
in other
they happen
states,
everywhere.
too.
Oh, yeah.
However,
Oh, yeah.
in Florida, we have the Sunshine Law, which means that all arrest records are immediately put into a database that is public record. So motherfuckers sit there searching for all of the funny shit, and then they post it online. So it's just consolidated. All of the stupid
True.
is consolidated in one database.
I mean,
and
it's
that's
the
why you
same
get so
here. I
many.
mean, if someone in Australia does something stupid, it's immediately in the press. It's just we have a smaller population than you guys, so there's not as much of it that happens.
Portland, Oregon does that too. If you get arrested in Portland, they put your name in the paper. If it's for at least this was back in the day when I lived there. If you got busted for prostitution, they put your picture on a billboard, and every week they would have it was like
So if you got
their
busted
version
for
of the
prostitution,
recycler.
they'd make a big billboard poster and say, "All hoes, this is your man."
But everyone that got arrested, every week their pictures were printed in a paper and you could buy it for like 50 cents. So every week you could see
so at
every
least
single
the
person who got
clientele
arrested.
They have that in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
pretty
have
much
And they'll
everywhere.
tell how many offenses, what they've been arrested
Damn right.
for, and they get a mugshot. And
Name
you look
and
through
shame.
there and you're like, ooh, crack, ooh, meth.
Hey,
ooh,
that's my
heroin."
neighbor.
I worked in
Pretty
a
much
downtown.
everywhere the police
No, I've never
blotters
done
are
it.
public record. It's just whether or not anybody ever picks up on the idea to publish them where you are.
So true because
Hey
it worked.
George,
It's a
your
good
photo's in
deterrent.
the paper.
If there's people that have actual shame. I wonder what that's like. But that will deter people from getting caught in certain crimes.
Oh yeah,
Knowing they'll be publicly
Well,
shamed for it.
it's especially effective in smaller communities
Yeah,
because your reputation matters a lot more if you're not anonymous there.
so true.
And my biggest
I just
problem with this
worry-
though is often the press will announce these people without them being convicted. In which case, you're shaming somebody who may not have actually done anything wrong.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
but
is
if
the
you-
problem.
But if you arrest Billy on Ho Boulevard, you know what he was there for. He's from completely other side of town. There's a big guess of why he was there.
Like
But here's the thing,
Raven said where we're at, they posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
See,
Oh, yeah.
I do have issues with this. I do like the idea of name and shame, but I think you should only do it with convicted people for a start. But the other side of this that really pisses me off is that for some crimes you can't name the person who's been arrested or whatever, but you can name the victim.
That's
So you
messed
end up
up.
with the victims plastered all through the press, and the person who's charged is protected because for that they have to be protected.
So it depends on what
we...
state you live in, though. In America, it depends on what state.
yeah,
I think that's actually a thing in the UK, or it certainly used to be.
it's
And we
dependent on
actually
the crime
had
in
a
Australia.
We had a big conversation in RE about whether or not it was right for, should we say, R-word victims to have their names published, but for the person who perpetrated to have their name protected, because it frequently results in those people being named and shamed in their schools if they're children.
My issue is like sex work is work and it should not be criminalized, first
I
off.
agree.
And second off, there's some people that might see, especially in the LGBT community, that prostitution is the only way that they can make a living if they've been disowned from their families, kicked out on the streets, and naming and shaming someone for something that should be legal but isn't because of our prudish society. Like, it also could put their lives at risk. So I don't.
Most of
agree
the
with
time,
it.
they're not showing. They're showing the Johns and not the people they were actually going to go see.
There's this argument that
all right,
turfs-
that's a little different, but still.
in
I know,
relation
I
to what
agree
you
with
said,
you.
Kitty, there's this argument that TERFs use where they try to say that trans women offend as regularly as men, so therefore their criminal behaviour is like men. The whole problem with their argument on that is most of those offences are sex-related, and it was more a problem in the past when it was a lot harder for trans people to get acceptance and get jobs and things like that. Most of those offences were sex related because it was the only way that trans women could fucking survive. So they weren't violent crimes, they were sex crimes, and they were only sex crimes because our laws are fucked up. And basically making sex sex for money a crime is prosecuting the underprivileged, because that's what it is. You're taking the most vulnerable in our society and say, hey, we're going to throw you in prison.
Okay, so
I would like to go on. Sorry, Will.
Oh, I'm just going to say real quick, here in LA, it's illegal, but it's not necessarily enforced like it was 20 years ago. So what we have is a 5-mile strip, and I'm not saying any secrets. And if you're coming to LA for prostitution, don't come here. But on Sunset Boulevard, it's women. And then on Santa Monica Boulevard, it's men. And the Santa Monica's thriving more than Sunset.
So hang on, the song where they sing about Santa Monica Boulevard is all about male prostitution.
Well, if they say anything about Santa Monica, that's male prostitution.
I'm trying to remember, what's the song where they sing about on the Santa Monica Boulevard?
That's Sheryl Crow.
Yeah,
that's Sheryl Crow. Now I'm gonna have yet another song I'm gonna have stuck in my head.
I apologize, but
it's gonna be 2 in the morning.
You brought it up.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's regulated. There's clinics all over the place. There's, everybody has condoms, and that's the best that we can do as a society right now. No one's shamed. It's known if you're down there for prostitution. So, but there's people that are closeted that, there's people that come all around LA. They'll drive 50 miles to go down there, So I don't know what the solution is, to tell you the honest truth.
And especially for a lot of the trans people who wind up in it, because the American healthcare system sucks so bad, they often see that as the only way that they can pay for even the hormone therapy, let alone if they're, looking to get any surgeries.
Yeah, I actually have heard of that.
Even if they have medical insurance, it's not going to consider that to be a necessary procedure, and it's not going to pay for it.
And Medi-Cal will not pay for a full transition. I looked it up.
My absolute favorite thing that I hear TERFs say is that when you introduce trans women into prisons, it increases the rates of the aforementioned word beginning with R, which is only true in the UK because that can only be committed by a person with a penis by UK law. Assigned female at birth people by UK law cannot do that.
And also, this is something that's been picked up only in the last year and a half, 2 years. It's just another issue that's been brought forward by the TERFs to be loud and screamy and say, "What about the kids?" It's just another dog whistle.
But they've always had that argument because it used to be
children. No, you need to have a UK accent to do that. Sam, do that.
Oh, what about the children?
But it's always been that argument. And I'm going to say something that probably, if Stu was here, he'd call me a fucking racist for it. But back in segregation times in the US, it was, what about the children? We can't have those black people in our toilets. Yeah. And then it was, what about the children? We can't have those gay people in our toilets.
It's not just the children. It's what about the children and what about the white women?
Oh, yeah.
Because, drug law was, the R word, the white women.
Because for some reason, white women are extra fucking fragile.
Where are all the white women at?
Well, they probably are. They've been spoiled most of their life. They didn't go through slavery. They didn't go through, really.
Well, for all the TERFs who are saying, what about the children? My response is, I've been thinking about this since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, if you want to say what about the children, how about you stop fucking around with healthcare for trans kids?
What
about those children? But you don't give a fuck about those children.
No, but
these are the same people who are birthers who don't care about kids themselves. You cannot have an abortion, but once you've got the kid, it's your problem.
Yeah. If you're actually concerned about the children, you should be supporting the puberty blockers so that it gives them a couple more years to figure it out.
And also, sometimes I like to take a step back. Anyone people who want to control other people's bodies scare me. It's not my business what somebody else wants to do. You know, I'm sorry. We need to get down to that baseline rule of leave people the hell alone.
But you know what?
As long as you're not hurting anybody else, it's not my business.
These TERFs don't want trans people alive. Full stop. So their thing is, if you take away their healthcare, if you take away trans people's healthcare, if you take away their mental healthcare, if you take away their physical healthcare, their hormones, their options for surgeries, you're going to have them die without you having to kill them, because you're going to force them into a life of hell where the suicide rates are going to get even worse than they currently are because you're taking away their support levels. You are going to kill them. This is what they want. You listen to people like Posey Parker. This is what they want.
Well, you know, I think that their line of thinking is, we'll either A, get rid of them, or B, they just won't transition. They'll just have to be regular people. And they'll just have to deal with
Randall,
they're doing
Harmonica Man, the link is in our group, so you should be able to find it in there.
Yeah, but in a way, they do this really cowardice thing that, like, someone like Matt Powell does. They'll say, I want the government to do it because I'm too weak to walk up to someone and tell them to their face I don't like them, you know? So what they do is, instead of moving on with their lives, they involve all these other people and try to get laws passed to control other people instead of just living their lives. I don't understand it.
I don't understand what the big deal is about what everybody else is doing. They're not hurting you. If you don't like them, then keep your kids away from them. If you don't like trans people or gay people, don't marry them. Don't hang out with them. Don't go to gay bars. Don't go to bars with trans people.
I remember.
But don't get in their way and fuck their lives up. Just go on with your own fucking life and leave them the fuck alone.
But that's for anyone, and that's in any situation, though. That's you know, that's once again, that should be baseline. Like, leave people the hell alone. I have all kinds of opinions, but I keep my mouth shut. Sorry, Kitty.
Be like a New York City person. New York City people just leave each other the fuck. They have no communication.
LA too.
They just say, fuck you, do whatever you want. Nobody cares.
LA too is the same way. That's what I miss about living in the city, is that you don't exist. I miss that.
You hear somebody bitching, it'll say like they live in Iowa or Wyoming because they have no life. Go milk a cow or something, man.
I'm gonna have to go, but I will leave the parting words fuck TERFs.
Yeah, fuck TERFs.
Absolutely.
Fuck TERFs.
Go, you go be Princess of TERF Island.
Princess.
Well, that was a big part of, why I wanted to get back to Minnesota, because the general attitude of Minnesota is, as long as you keep it in your own yard, I don't give a fuck.
I thought you were going to say keep it in your own pants.
Unfortunately, it did wind up, but I've ended up in one of the few red pockets that we actually have a Republican representative here.
Yikes.
Help change that, Purple.
I live in a Republican area, and most people mind their own business and are good people.
Well,
Matt Gaetz is a representative in my
everybody
state.
else here, and first we'll take over the building, and then we'll flip the city council.
Hi, Randy.
Look,
how's it going?
The next donation stream I'm going to do is to get Randy something besides HughesNet. That's going to be my next. So this guy, he's not lagging.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Randy, if you want a discussion with somebody about lots and lots of music forms and stuff, hit Jay up, because Jay loves his music.
Oh, and
yeah, they should talk.
Randy has
the other blues man, eh?
Randy has a bit of a lag. Just to warn everybody.
Yeah, he's not rude. He's like
laggy.
8 seconds behind everybody.
He's a permanent jug shopper.
Because I got HughesNet and a bum leg and I also dress to the left, but that's not my
Oh God, Will, do you have the time? Watch the time.
I was about to say, I'm gonna have to go from stream to stream, from channel to channel to cut all these out.
Yeah, Will said for people who don't know, like Jay, Will said he's gonna go and through everything that Randy's been on live, and he's gonna clip out all the dad jokes and the shit he says. Because it's hilarious, man.
But our streams are always full of dad jokes.
It's funny even if you don't know what's going on. It's literally all funny. So we just need to do like a harmonica man
everything,
clips.
Lucky for you, Randy.
Well, we've actually on Six Pack have been
Yeah.
talking about cutting all out and repasting all together all the drunk Jen spots. So
See, exactly, hilarious.
You can make a whole
Doesn't
show of
matter the
that.
content.
we can make a 3-hour video out of that one easy.
Unfortunately,
all we
there's
gotta
no
do-
footage.
I don't. I've never spoken to Jay before.
Yeah,
I
you
noticed
have.
you got the
Yeah, we
cool
have.
blues man hat.
Yeah.
You got the short brim and
I-
the correct sunglasses. I don't have the sunglasses on because I can't see shit anyway, so I'm not gonna play the part.
Well,
we-
I don't
we
know whether to
am
go
Blues
Blues
Man,
Brothers with
you know,
Jay
for real.
or towards ZZ Top. I mean, it's really.
Oh, he does have that ZZ
Well-
Top look.
One
go
or the
with
other.
Blues
Yeah,
Brothers.
it's
Oh,
like
that's
a-
awesome.
I agree.
Nice, man. I didn't
Cool.
even know you had that. It's great.
I played with him in the Chicago House of Blues. That was,
Oh,
that was pretty
wow,
awesome.
Randy.
Gotta go with the Blues Brothers.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
You know, these-
awesome, Randy.
that's
How long
cool.
ago was that?
oh shit, that was back in like 2001, just before the towers fell.
Who'd you play with? Like who was there?
Dan Aykroyd and Jim Belushi, and actually they were
So you had
promoting their
LZ.
album Big Men Build Big Trouble.
Oh, wow.
And we just did like a trio of harmonica kind of duo or whatever, dual kind of thing. And I made $2,000. And then
Yay.
afterwards, I kept
That's pretty
working
good
there
back
and
then.
stacked the chairs and the tables and swept the floor and then came home to Michigan.
That's awesome.
That's a cool
That is
story,
awesome.
man.
I met
Yeah,
John. Oh, go
We've
ahead.
already
Jay.
we've talked, Randy, because we found out that you're not that far from where I'm at. Because I'm
Yeah,
right there on the lake.
Okay, in Detroit?
No, I'm in Ludington.
On which one?
Ludington.
Oh, Ludington. Okay, yeah, I'll swing down. There's a post right there in the middle of town that I usually pee on to mark my territory.
There you
I'll
go.
be there on Thursday.
You know, I think we did have this conversation because I remember telling the story about
See?
I saw Wicked and John Goodman was in line and
can't remember.
he was dressed like a homeless person. The only reason I knew he wasn't homeless because he had $300 shoes on.
Now I'm
Well,
imagining
he
Jay
reeked.
and Randy doing a
Uh-huh.
show
No, but-
together where they're actually they actually record it in the same when they're in the same room and talking about music because that would be fucking
No, but-
amazing.
John Goodman reeked of pop.
Yeah.
Like top A grade shelf, but he looked at people like, yeah, I'm
Really?
like, what are you gonna do? I'm in the middle of LA. Like it was in his pocket, or he was eating it or something. Like he reeked of pot.
Just
Good
hot
time.
boxed
There
the
you
limo
are.
right
Hey,
before he
John.
got out.
Your ass is a skunk.
It's like that here. It's not rare to walk past someone smoking a J.
Do you
in-
just
in LA.
love the cigar that
Mhm.
Will rolled himself? It is amazing.
I've been smoking it for about a half an hour.
I know.
It is
Is that
about
a
the bar
blunt?
size, though.
It is.
It's
It
a-
was huge. And
It was only like three.
I've often said that to Will that it's huge, but
It was only like 3 papers.
I'm not a
It was only
smoker, but
like-
I am a poker.
Now it's the size of a regular J. It was like
Well.
3 papers.
With something else we have in common, Randy.
You know, it's that kind of
That's
stream
3
tonight.
parts of a wood stove. You know, you come up north, you have to know what a wood stove is made of, and it's the 3 parts: lifter, leg, and poker.
Good to know. Good to know.
cow poker.
No innuendo in there, I'm sure, at all.
Why did
Oh,
they
that's-
call them
Not
cowpokes?
all.
Is
You're
it
at-
because all cowboys were into cattle or something?
No, it's when you made love to your boyfriend, you were walking funny the next day. So be like, hey there, cowpoke.
Poke. The rule broke back.
Rode him hard, huh? Put him away
Actually, I
wet.
think it's a
We were
POLK.
just having this
is the
conversation.
word.
You're at 1510, Jen.
Polk.
Oh wow!
POLK.
Cool. Thank you,
In the
everyone.
1800s, it was a farmer's reference to what kind of, polk you were. You can be a horse polk or a cow polk or whatever.
I had always wondered if they'd call them cowpokes as a kind of derogatory thing of them getting too lonely on the cattle drives.
Exactly.
Happy
Kinda like the
trails to you. That reminds me, tomorrow.
That's one of my most
Is it
favorite
because
Van
it was
Halen
safer to
songs
do it with the
coming.
cow than it was the horse?
See, now, Randy, you were singing that. Now I got to go listen to Van
Oh, yeah?
Halen. That is a great... Van Halen sings a great version of Happy Trails.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm going to have to check it out.
Oh, David Lee Roth.
I saw
trying
him
not-
once
I'm
going
trying-
into Disney.
I'm trying not to get a copyright strike, so I'm like cutting myself off from singing it. It's a great song. You know, and it's only like, what, 45 seconds, a minute or something. It's awesome. Bum-ba-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da. See, I'm already in copyright strike territory.
You know,
Very
So
simple.
give me a
Van
copyright
Halen
strike. I've
harmonized.
never
Van
had
Halen
a
was
copyright
awesome.
strike.
if you're looking at really old-time country music, something a lot of people don't realize, Lauren Green recorded 3 albums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leonard Nimoy,
Yep.
William Shatner.
Not
they
bad.
made a few albums.
Gomer Pyle.
All I can think when you say that is William Shatner
Yeah.
doing Lola.
Um, you can find it on the internet.
Hello,
if you
Willie.
haven't heard it, you really should look up
Hello.
William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy singing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Oh, I've seen that.
My God.
Oh yeah, I have too.
What?
That's
I
YouTube
haven't.
famous.
I'm gonna have to
That
look
is
later.
YouTube. That is YouTube famous.
Okay, now that's the kind of bullshit I stay right away from. Right there. That's just, goofier than shit.
That's the kind of stuff I stay up until 6 o'clock in the morning watching. And I'm like, damn it, I've just spent 3 hours
Why?
watching William
Because it's
Shatner.
there.
Yeah. Come on, you guys don't fall down the
Oh,
YouTube
boy.
rabbit hole. I'm just
Oh, I've done it.
I
I'm
get
subscribed to
knocked
some
down, but
weird
I get
stuff.
up again.
I see this all the time. Like I'm subscribed to like 3 different orcas, a couple seals, otters or dicks. I love YouTube. YouTube is awesome.
Fucking Will.
Well, you're lucky, Will. Tomorrow you got a different type of mammal coming along. We got the keister bunnies showing up.
The keys.
Easter Bunny. Is
That
that why
sounds
they're
like
chocolate covered
Oh,
eggs?
I haven't had my chocolate today. Damn it.
Yeah.
that sounds like a
Yeah.
prison. That sounds
But
like
it's
a
just a
prison
beaner.
game.
You just
right? The Keister
flick it
Bunny
off
sounds like
the end.
the
Why
Keister
does the
Bunny
Easter
sounds like
Bunny
something.
hide their eggs?
Sounds
Why
like
is that?
porn.
Yeah.
Would you want people to know you've been fucking a chicken?
Oh. Is that why the chicken crossed the road? It was getting away from the Easter Bunny.
Pretty sure it's happened, Purple.
There is
Oh,
specifically
jeepers.
a law in Minnesota that it
That's
is
almost
illegal
like
to
my
have
sperm
sex
joke,
with a
isn't it,
rooster.
B?
It's
To
In
be
where?
fair, rabbits will fuck anything. Literally anything.
And they'll eat their young.
What?
They do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they eat their young.
Did
I
you raise a rabbit?
That.
The,
just
the
got
Randy
real quick.
male rabbit we had, I gave it a toy to fuck.
So the
It had
rabbits
its
are
own-
atheists?
I didn't fuck anything that was in the cage.
I knew I liked bunnies.
Well,
I knew I liked rabbits.
Ah!
Seriously, what do you expect if they have chocolate babies?
I mean, it's been a long, cold winter. Spring's here. We're hungry. There's a chocolate baby.
Yep.
Oh
Can't
my
blame 'em.
God! I just got a horrible flashback of Uncle Remus and the Tar Baby.
Yeah, and
Oh,
discussions are not
oh,
racist
God.
at all.
Wow. Oh,
So,
Song of
it's
the
all right.
South,
We've
man.
got Will
Oh.
here.
no,
We
it's
have
not.
I
representation.
could not believe when I
You
was
guys
in
gonna get
school.
me canceled.
I asked the teacher.
I'm already canceled
what
in like 4
the hell
circles.
that shit meant. I didn't know. And she's like, "Well, it's the South, and cause black people and stuff." And it's like, what? I don't know what you mean. There's like one black person in this whole town, and I got a crush on her. But what the hell is Uncle Remus talking about?
Every
You
time
know,
we have
there ain't no
discussions like
such
that, all
thing
I
as
can
a
think
tar
of is Blazing
baby. I mean,
Saddles, and the sheriff is a nougat.
yeah, near. He's near.
Every near.
How do you? You have to tell me how to
Fucking-
spell that because I am gonna make
the
a
thing
patch.
is-
That's my next patch. Is the brand nougat.
Yeah, you're gonna make a patch.
That
I
and
like my
a good
women
friend
like I
named
like my
Skip.
nougat.
And
And
you know,
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this idea away because if anyone steals the idea, I'm gonna hand make it. So I'll fight you if I see it. But I'm gonna make a patch that says the gay agenda,
Okay,
and I'm just gonna wear. I'm gonna wear it around my Republican town.
So everybody can
I
say,
was
what,
already working on
what is
something.
it? I knew it. I knew it. I knew they had an agenda. They're going to take over the world. It's in
I'm
the
gonna be-
water.
I'm already nice to people, so I might as well,
No,
you know,
what-
say
what
that's
we
the
want
gay
is-
agenda. Is be nice
actually,
to everyone.
I
world
think
would be
I've
better
decided
if gays
Teespring,
ran
and I'm gonna make a
everything.
T-shirt that says "Everyone has a gender."
Okay, so
Oh,
back
that's
to
nice.
what Kitty said about gays running everything.
agenda.
All I'm saying, in LA, in West Hollywood, the streets are extremely clean.
Actually, I was gonna say we should
On
start
the gay
a
side of town, it's
What
one
the
of the most
Butt
beautiful
Show
sights.
merch store. That's what we should do, and that can be
Again-
our first T-shirt. Everybody has a gender.
Jen, check your Twitter.
Sorry.
Check your Twitter.
You know,
Well, that's because
is
gay
kinda
men like
funny.
things clean. They're picky. Things have to be neat and clean.
yep,
we
I love it,
literally
Jay. I
have
wish
that.
I
that.
Is
was set
true.
up so I
I
could
know
share that.
a good friend of
That's
mine.
brilliant.
But they also
has
have like
an
the lesbian side and
antique store, and he was. I'm sorry, you know, I got a gay friend. Well, actually, he transitioned male to female within the past couple of years. He hasn't, or she hadn't talked to me since, but owns the damn antique store. And well, I was, you know, vacuuming and dusting the pictures and everything, and it was never good enough. Not even close. And it's like, you know what? I can do a military inspection. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm gay.
You should share that one, Jen.
I can't. I haven't got this set up so I can pop up a screen.
Oh. Let's see if I can do it.
Now, excuse me. I have to urinate.
Oh, what I was gonna say is that in LA we self-segregate, so we do have like the gay side of town, which is
Well, as long as everybody's on board, who cares?
West Hollywood, Santa Monica, and Hollywood are lit though. So if you live over there, you must like people. I don't know. Can we all see it?
Yep.
I need that patch. I need that patch in my life.
I can probably.
Mazel tov.
Right.
I wonder how that would go over if I wore that going back to Skokie.
That is one thing I would be confronted around here because we do have a large Jewish population in Southern California. Most people are nice though. Like I wear all kinds of crazy patches, all kinds of crazy stuff. Like there's only been once that someone's ever talked trash to me, and spoiler, it was an evangelical Christian.
No.
I wear biker stuff. I wear all kinds of stuff. No one says a word to me. I wear stuff that's solely affiliated with LA. No one says a word to me. I had a jacket and a patch on it that says "We all believe in lies," and it had a cross. And this guy instantly was like, "Romans chapter 1." And I just looked and I was like, "Why are you yelling?" Why? I was at the dollar store. Which coincidentally around here, for some reason, every time I go to the dollar store by myself, something weird happens, or some weirdo, or someone dies in the parking lot, or like something weird always happens.
Don't you know every day at the dollar store something weird happens?
I was going to say, it's probably not just you, Will. It's probably every day there.
I have a police scanner. That place is lit. That place is lit.
I went to Dollar Tree the other day with my brother, and there's a homeless guy. Well, okay, so it's in a strip mall, right?
Right.
And to the right of it, there's nothing. the business is closed down. It hasn't been open in a long time, and there's just like this long sidewalk of nothing. And there's this homeless guy sleeping right next to the Dollar Tree door. I'm like, dude, you have this whole space, and you're sleeping right next to the Dollar Tree door.
Maybe it was a windy day.
No, he was hoping people would throw money at him.
For
He
some
could just
reason,
lay
it
there
won't
and look
display
pitiful.
it. Sorry,
So,
people watching the stream.
I shared it on Twitter the other day when I found out about it, but there was this well-known homeless guy near where my parents live, and he used to not bother anybody, even though they did anti-panhandling ordinances. Nobody messed with him or called the cops on him because he just minded his own business. He didn't ask anybody for money, but he would take palm fronds and like weave them into like flowers or crosses around Easter. And then he would sell them for like $1 or $2. And so nobody bothered him. Well, this guy that came from out of state, from Texas, for Bike Week and never left, decided that, you know, it would be a good idea to literally drive in a circle in the intersection, line up his car, gun it, and mow the guy down.
What?
Ended up taking out the metal power box like on the side of the road. And like the killer, the murderer, he actually bailed out of the car like right before it impacted the guy. And like he was on Facebook Live earlier in the day talking about how disgusting the homeless people were. And, you know, then he was shocked when, you know, the cops were in his hospital room bringing him up on first degree in, you know, homicide charges. And he's like shocked at that. And it's like, fuck you. I hope you get the death penalty. Like, if you look on my Twitter, I shared the article from the News Journal, and it shows it was caught on fucking camera, him spinning around and literally aiming at the guy. And there was another guy that was in the vehicle with him that said, no, he did it intentionally.
I mean, okay, hold on. So you get a guy in a car with you who's not loyal at all, and he's willing to snitch on you. Number 2, you're driving your own vehicle.
And out of town.
And you just posted something about it. And you're from out. Like, are you just an idiot?
When I go to other people's towns, I'm like,
that's
especially
one
mind my
bag of
P's and
stupid
Q's.
we're talking about here.
You know what though? Here in LA, people come here to do all kinds of dumb shit all the time. So
And
they'll
we
drive
have the
from all
death
around
penalty here. So he might get the needle or whatever, and I don't feel bad. Like, we know it was him. Like, it's one.
Can I join in, Will?
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, I mean, I have complicated feelings on the death penalty in that, you know, I don't like the idea of state-sponsored murder, and to me, if an innocent person is put to death, then that's murder. But if you're not innocent, if we know that you did it, like Dylan.
Oh,
Kitty.
Yeah, you have all the eyes dotted and all
this guy was like
evidence.
Yeah, it's like, if you know that you got the right guy,
you know, that's
then fuck it. I don't care.
Your internet cut out for a second, Kitty.
Yeah, so I was trying to fill in the gap. I wasn't trying to be rude.
I say bring back the guillotine.
No.
I say just shoot him with a bullet. Bullets are so cheap.
Hi, my name is Kitty.
So I need to get that toolbox. In my dad's old toolbox, there's a sticker and it's a sticker that says, "This is the only Woodstock I ever known." It's like an M16 or something. And then I think it's a generational thing when we start talking about the death penalty. When we start talking about, you know, because I'm old school. Like what B said, bullets are cheaper. There's another saying that said back in the day, they used to say bullets are only 25 cents. You're housing this person in prison for this long. You know, bullets are cheap. So it sounds inhumane. It sounds mean. But the truth is, like, you know, I don't know. I'm a bit old school. I've got some hate DMs
look how many wrongful,
but I'm just old
imprisonments have, you know.
No, I agree, Randy. I agree.
Yeah.
I think if we had harsher penalties,
like,
it
for
would
instance,
people.
I went to jail once.
Yeah, I think
just because my ex called and said, "Here, arrest this guy," and I went when I first came back from the military, and the judge didn't even know why the hell I was there, and the friend of the court didn't know why I was there. He said, yeah, he's making his payments and he's doing extra. He's living in his damn truck, doing nothing but working 2 jobs and paying child support. And here he is, anyways, and they didn't even know why the hell I was there. Yeah. But they tried to put me on probation and all that shit anyways, and I threatened the judge that I was going to send him to prison for fraud and extortion.
How's it going,
because
Kevin?
That's what they were doing to me. Oh, hey, Kevin.
Kevin, you're muted.
Hello.
There you go.
There we go. You're kind of quiet, but we heard you.
Yeah, no, but I agree with what I believe Kitty was trying to say. She was saying that if you have unequivocal evidence, like there are witnesses, everybody saw him do it, or whatever, and it's punishable by death, then it should be done. Like if you take someone's life and we know for sure you did it, then yeah, I mean a bullet will do it. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you're willing to take a life, what are you?
Yeah.
What you are is a meal ticket for the corporations that own the prisons that want to keep you alive. Because they can make more money. That's what you are.
The biggest thing that's shaking it up, though, is just, how many people who were on death row for 10 to 20 years and, then with forensic or whatever, they found new evidence that exonerated them.
Right. But now we have that technology. There's no delay there. We know.
I mean, my thing is I think
that happened in my hometown just recently.
I think that the burden of proof for a death penalty case
it was a big old story. An old woman. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kitty.
It's okay. No, I think that we seek the death penalty far too often. Where I think that it should be only for the most heinous of crimes. And I think premeditated murder is one of those, because you might kill somebody in a fight and you killed somebody, but you might not have intended to. You didn't have that intention to take that life. So you might not be a monster, or
I have a friend who did 7 years for that very reason.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's degrees of murder. So, the degree of punishment, I'm fine with someone who, didn't intend to kill someone necessarily, but did kill someone, spending their life in prison. But if you intended to kill someone, then that's different. If you aim your car at somebody and you gun it and then jump, no, or you mow down a bunch of people at a black church, no, I am fine with you getting the death penalty. So it should be worst crimes, and then all the other crimes, no death row for them. That's the biggest issue with Casey Anthony. The reason she got off scot-free was because Florida was stupid and they made it a capital murder charge and put the death penalty on the table. She'd still be in prison for child neglect or negligent homicide if they had charged her with that. But they're like, no, we got this. We're going to make a big spectacle of this, and we're going to get first-degree murder and get her the chair. And they didn't meet their burden of proof. I hate to say it, as much as I despise her, if I were on that jury, I would have acquitted her too. They did not meet the burden of proof. They didn't.
but if I ever walked past her and I saw she had a hook and drink, I would spit in her drink.
By the way, we're an hour into the stream, and I just realized I already had it set up to grab the total within my webcam app because I did that for Granny's stream a couple of weeks back.
Got it. Okay.
So
moment
you can tell I'm knackered, which is tired in Australian vernacular.
I knew that.
From the last few days.
I
I'm
sent
losing
you
my
over
voice now.
1,500.
It's Will's fault.
I had
He
to
gave it
donate. I
to
couldn't
me.
help myself.
Will, what'd you do to her?
Well,
trying to steal her voice because he lost it.
It's the blind of a loud now.
He was trying to discover if I really don't have a gag reflex. No.
Now, see, I was about to go down the Ursula route and pull out my divine, and just, poor unfortunate.
The one cool thing about losing my voice is I can. Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?
You could also do Darth
I'm
Vader.
not wearing hockey pads. That's one of my favorite lines ever.
Not gonna lie though.
Hockey pads.
Whenever.
What about you are a part of the Rebel
Yeah,
Alliance?
Batman.
Oh, shit.
whenever listening to like the Disney movie soundtracks in the car with my son, whenever Poor Unfortunate Souls comes on, I belt that shit like a drag queen. Like I am just on it. Like
Wow,
is one of my
lots of
favorite
glitz and glamour
songs.
then.
That is one of my favorite songs.
I'd like
that is
to
literally
point
one
out,
of my
though,
favorite
Kitty,
villains.
Which one is that from?
if you're belting it
Ursula.
out like a drag queen, does that mean you're lip syncing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Randy, it's the Little Mermaid.
But yeah, it's from The Little
Ursula
Mermaid. It's
from-
Ursula.
The Little Mermaid.
The Little Mermaid.
Under the Sea is
coconut
one of the-
tits there.
Under
Yeah,
the
I know
Sea
that
is
one.
one of the most innuendo-laden songs of all time. It's always
Under
better
the
where it's
sea,
wetter under the sea. Think I even back in the
I
day,
never really
I
paid
never-
attention
I
to the
like
word.
it better
That's
down
right.
where it's wetter. You
I did.
When it feels wetter.
it's better where it's wetter under the sea down there.
No,
How come nobody-
I
how come
like
the
it
Christians
better down
didn't
there
ban
where it's
that?
wetter.
They banned the cover
Christians
of
love Indian
Cinderella
Because
because it
they're
looked too
too
phallic.
You know,
They're too stupid
what's that,
to
Kevin?
figure that shit out. That's why.
No,
just
Disney
said the Christians
deliberately
love
put it in.
innuendos.
It's
I mean,
there.
look at the
It's there
Bible.
something for the dads. So,
So
that they can get dads to take their kids to see Disney movies, they have to put these little bits of innuendo in them so that parents will take their children.
When I was a kid, the only real difference between like
I'll show you guys what I'm working on.
hardcore. Go ahead.
This is actually from a coloring book of Disney did Descendants, and it's a film line that they did. This is Mal. She's actually the daughter of Maleficent and Hades. So she's technically a demigoddess, and she is like like the new characters for Disney, where they actually did a trilogy films.
By the way,
And,
Kitty, people can see that one. It's only small, but people can see it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Maleficent even hung out with Hades. I mean,
Well, in
that's
this
just-
one-
that's
Apparently,
just a
Hades
twist
was
that
hanging out, not her.
blows my mind.
So, in the film, basically, all of the villains got rounded up and put onto the Isle of the Lost, and it was a barrier was put over it. So these are the children that were born to the villains. And when the new king, when Prince Ben becomes king, he decides he wants to bring kids from the Isle over and try to integrate them into life in the greater community, because he doesn't like the idea of them being punished for their parents' crimes. And Mal is kind of like the baddest bitch on the island, and she actually ends up in a relationship with Ben. But she can turn into a dragon just like her mom Maleficent. You don't find out who her dad is till the third film, but it's my niece's favorite character. Ben is the son of the Beast and Belle.
All coming together now.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Mal, and she's my niece's favorite character. So I am literally taking a coloring book page that I found, and I'm going in coloring it bit by bit, and then I'm going to convert it to an SVG file so I can cut it on my Cricut machine and make a sticker and an iron-on for my niece.
Nice.
Awesome.
So, like, this is what I'm working on over the background. So if I'm looking over here, it's because I'm looking at the monitor that I'm working on. But I am still listening. I promise.
No, you aren't,
Yeah.
Kitty. Don't you lie to us.
Good.
You're not paying
That's fair.
attention.
We
I'm
just work
listening,
in
I'm
other
listening.
people's streams. It's fine,
I'm
kid.
listening.
Although, technically, this is your stream, so as well.
I mean, fair. But anyway, so
Okay,
that's
just one
what
tip.
I'm working on.
Magnets
Yeah,
are real
you're
good for
close.
keeping iron on.
All the better to hear you with, my dear.
No, and I did a 200 IQ play because
And chasing heart valve patients.
vinyl, there's three main types of vinyl. There's permanent, removable, and iron-on. But rather than getting all the colors I needed in permanent and removable, I just got all permanent vinyl, and then I got a big roll of removable in clear, so I can just make an extra layer, cut it out in clear, and then just layer all the permanent on the clear. So now I have
that's
window
clever.
cling and removable without having to get the colors in two types of vinyl. I was like, 200
That's
IQ.
Wow, that's brilliant, Kitty. But you're just
Awesome.
giving away your trade
Golf
secret.
clap.
Oh, I don't care. Like, look, I have a bag hanging up over there that says "Crafter's Gonna Craft." So if anybody wants like any tips or
Damn
tricks or
right.
anything, I figured it out. Like, I mean, I'm all about bringing more people into my little crafty corner.
You're all about the craft,
There
about
you
the
go.
craft. So crafty. She's all about
So Jay, how you
Cool.
doing?
I'm all right.
How's that beard, man?
It's going.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, he looks
Sorry, I
so
had to
much
get-
better
I
with
had
the
to get a little
beard.
manly to give us all some relief down here.
We have to do like some hair wraps in it, like with some beads and shit, like beads and thread.
A couple of bow ties.
It's getting wizardly. It's getting very wizard. That's awesome.
I'm going for about right here is where I want to.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
soon
full.
I'm gonna
That's
put him in
full
a
Gandalf.
competition with my brother.
Oh, your brother is full.
I
wizard.
agree, Will. It is getting wizardly in here. My balls have been tingling for 3 days. I need to go see the doctor.
Does that make him Blue
Oh,
Dolph
buddy.
the brother?
Blue Dolph.
Your brother looks like a Union general. That's how.
I
that's
know,
how
right?
Big his beard. That's how big his beard is.
Right. I know. It's like this wide, and he'll just like it's so thick. He'll take his comb. He has like a comb like you used to use on afros, kind of comb.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got one of those to comb his beard out with. And
You
he'll
know what?
stick it in his beard and like set stuff on it. He set on like 2 packs of cigarettes and a mouse, and it stayed there. That's
Just
how
because
thick-
I've got
funny.
this stupid thing stuck in my head now, the
And
rest
back
of
when
you
I
are
had
going
my
to
hair
as well.
long when I was a teenager, it curled up. I used to stick cigarettes and joints in there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you can hide shit in it.
Thanks
You know,
to
I
that
did that in
discussion
Joe.
about
Suggest that to him.
Gandalf and how Jay looks. I have this stuck in my head. Gandalf, the Middle Earth Wizard.
They did
Yeah.
that.
I'm in a fucking loop in my brain.
I got in trouble for we were supposed to write jingles in my high school class, and I did a version of Frosty the Snowman that was talking about a different kind of snow, like let's just say sniffy
Oh.
dust snow. And my teacher was not too happy with me.
we did Frosty the Pervert.
I say maybe they should have done with the Sandman instead. Just saying.
You know why Frosty got all excited? He heard the snowblower coming.
Oh, damn.
Right
I like
at that
that.
time, Mark.
Snowblower.
See, that's the only one among any male
Yeah.
that when it gets colder, he gets harder and bigger. He's the only one.
Yeah.
But
that's-
honestly, though,
that's
like not
different.
only would too much like ice be very uncomfortable, but like if you had a dick made out of snow, like if you got hot and wet, like it'd melt, and
Surely
like where's
they'd
the
use a
fun
carrot,
in that?
wouldn't they?
I guess maybe, but then just call it Pinocchio
Well,
instead.
but if it's cold,
Lie
can't
to
you
me,
just like?
Pinocchio.
So
Lie
I
to
guess
me.
a Frosty could just do a
Pinocchio.
whole bunch of them all over his front, and have little like ice penises
fuck am I
everywhere.
hearing
And then
right
if
now?
one melted, you could just go to another one. I mean,
Actually,
he's Frosty. He can do whatever he wants. He's magical.
that reminds me. So I don't know if any of you have
Yeah, just-
seen the Amazon show The Boys.
Mhm.
But there was in one episode there's a support group for basically people that are survivors of trauma inflicted on them by the superheroes. Like there's one guy, like one of the main characters in the first episode, his girlfriend basically
Oh,
gets
love that
exploded
scene.
when the speedster character, like the Flash analog, basically runs through her at top speed. She literally explodes. So
Oh,
she gets killed the
watch
first
it.
episode.
If you
but-
haven't watched the
I've
boys,
never
you need to
watched
watch
it.
it.
You need
Never.
to watch it.
Really? that good?
But it is amazing. I'm so excited for season 3, but I'll get to that.
You see,
So
I'd have to.
I haven't finished
I'd have
season
to
2
find
yet,
alternative means to watch it.
I got you. Season 2
We're in the middle
though.
of a-
Hey, we could have a
You
The
don't
Boys
need to
night.
Watch it.
Yes. Season 2 though.
Stay in a private stream. We can watch it.
That was what I was thinking. But in season 2, there's one support group episode where people who had been damaged by the superheroes had, a meeting to deal with like their trauma. And one guy was dating a chick that could turn her body into ice. And when she
Ice,
climaxed,
baby.
she got close to absolute zero and froze his dick off.
You see, thanks. That's
New
awful.
invention. New invention.
Bad way to go.
Warming dick protectors. I said it here first. I own it.
That's just
But
on the list.
now
of
you
bad
see
ways
where
to go.
why I said I thought of it was because it was kind of the opposite issue of the dick melting. It's the dick freezing
I
and
already got
snapping
those,
off.
B. It's called
Dry
a
I
ice
have
hand.
to
penis
sell them in like
removal.
4 different sizes and make them accordion just in case. That's what I'm
My
gonna do.
sister sent me something she found online, and it was a dude saying, I'm wondering what would happen if I put Gorilla Glue on my erect penis, like when it went soft, like what would happen? And then other people are subtweeting into this thing, like, I kind of want to know what would happen. So can someone try this so I don't have to? And I'm like, okay, it'd be bad enough if it was fully engorged and you encased it because it would stretch and like it would hurt going back down, but it'd be worse if you fully encased it in Gorilla Glue and then got hard because all of that would rip as it got engorged.
Oh, yeah. It would rip the skin, absolutely.
Poor
Oh my
Will.
God.
Yep.
Hey,
There was
Kitty,
an essay by
Jay's
Larry
over there
Niven.
just slowly,
Why
like
the
tiny
heck
shake.
are we in the middle of
Wasn't
this?
there a case of a guy who glued his teenage daughter's vagina to close so that she
I don't
wouldn't have
remember.
sex?
what were
I
you
Yes.
gonna say,
wasn't
Bert?
surprised.
Yes,
Yes, that
thanks,
did
but
happen.
It doesn't surprise me.
I did
sure
hear
read
about it. I don't
that.
remember when or where, but it did
Yeah,
happen.
I can't
Okay,
remember
hold
when
on.
or where.
I have to say something because I know that my son is
Yeah.
watching or will watch this later. Don't use super glue, bro. Don't do it. This is your pops telling
This
you.
No,
this is a
seriously.
health warning.
We have
This is a
fun.
what
I
the
know
fuck
you're-
show health warning.
I
Warning,
know,
do
I
not
know
put
you're
Gorilla
subscribed.
Glue.
Let me tell him my experience with my hand, and then he'll understand that he shouldn't do that, okay?
No, because he's at his mom's
I-
house, and I guarantee he's watching this
I
right now. or
glued
will
my
be later.
fingers together like this. Oh, where's the camera? Like this.
Oh, that's the worst.
This one I finally got loose. It took me hours, and it hurt. And this one I had to cut my skin.
Yep.
So I wasn't walking around like this.
Yeah,
And-
I've done that too.
And I was bleeding, and I had no
Mhm.
fingerprints for years. Now imagine sensitive
Oh.
skin, what that's gonna do.
Yep.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
I did the same thing.
No.
I
Seriously.
glued my
The
fingers
moral
together
of the
with
story
I guess
is,
the
if you're
moral
gonna
of the
glue
story
something
is
together
don't
that's hard to
use
glue, put gloves on.
Hold on.
Yes.
Purple.
Please put
Purple
gloves. We
was
didn't have
saying.
gloves. I was a
Purple-
poor farm kid.
No, I think the real moral of the story is don't use glue, do tongue and groove.
Purple, what were you gonna say?
Having
Tongue
said
and
that,
groove.
I am sure in the history there is somebody who has played a trick on somebody else where they've swapped lube for glue and ended up with a friend who's ended up with their hand glued to their penis.
I know somebody. My
It
mom knew
would be funny
somebody
though.
that caught her husband cheating, and so while he was asleep, she started stimulating him so that he would get erect, and she super glued the tip of his dick as far as it would stretch down his leg, and then walked out of the room and waited for the screams.
Oh!
That is not the first time that's happened. Years and years ago, a woman found out her husband was cheating on her, and she super glued his penis to his stomach. Like put a
I
line
thought
down
you
his
were gonna
penis and slapped
I
it on
thought
his
you were going to
So-
say she super glued it to his testicles, which would have been
No,
So-
that would have been
Oh.
better. That would
So
have been better.
disclaimer. Hey,
I think that was
just,
enough.
just a big disclaimer. Leave penises alone. If you hate someone, leave them. If you
Yeah.
don't like them,
Yeah.
leave. Or
That's
tell
what I
them to
did.
leave.
I don't condone assault of
Yeah.
any
And
kind.
do not,
hurt my
under
ex-husband,
any
I just
left him.
circumstances,
Yeah, it's not
put
like
glue on somebody else's body. You're being an
No,
asshole.
because not funny. A not funny story. I had a neighbor, and they've officially completely moved out of the neighborhood. But like, I know someone who got caught cheating, and the spouse, she stabbed her husband repeatedly, and she's still in prison right now. You know.
My
Good.
friend's
It is
dad was
very
set on
nice. Just-
fire by his the girl he was with. Like she poured gasoline on him and set him on fire in his sleep.
Yikes.
Yeah, I knew a guy years back
Somebody
who was
switched my
shot in the stomach by
antidepressants
his
with
spouse because he was
Viagra, and his
cheating.
ain't keep
Shot
getting
him.
harder and harder.
What's that, Kevin?
I was saying I knew a guy years back who was shot in the
Sorry.
stomach by his spouse. He was accused of cheating, and yeah, so I always thought that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's no joke. I knew someone that would change out windows when I lived in Arizona, and they were shot repeatedly by a 22 when they lived.
Right.
So, depends
I
on
had
what
an ex
caliber.
who accused me
Yeah.
of cheating, and then I found out he was cheating.
My grandfather was one of them.
Do you know, I've always
My
found that
grandfather tried to commit suicide, and he shot himself in the head a few times with 22 and it didn't work. But then he developed skin cancer. So he waited till he was like 98 years old. He was in an old folks home, and he put a big old bundle of laundry together on the bed and caught it on fire, stole the van, went down to the Oklahoma City bank and robbed it, and then got shot up.
No shit.
That's how he died.
Death by cop.
Randy,
Just
you
like
need
the
to
good old days.
Did you-
Yeah, I
have
come
you wrote
from
a
a
book
long
about
line
all
of
of
bank
this?
robbers.
This dude got some
No,
stories.
I write books about other stuff. That's
No,
more
you
important.
need to write a book about your life, dude. You got some really cool stories. You really do. That shit will sell. I'd buy it.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of silly stuff and stuff that people aren't going to be interested in.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I might write some notes down.
When I was younger, I knew this guy who was a gangster in Panorama City, and I would play pool with him. And he was way older than I was, and he was just a legendary person. And he would rob banks in the 70s, and he got stabbed in the head in prison. He would look at me in the middle of playing pool, and he'd be like,
Ouch.
"Who's stripes and who's solids?"
Hi, Jeff.
He kept me honest, Those people are interesting, So tell your story. How's it going, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jeff.
Jeff.
Scummer.
I don't know how we upset the
well,
chat,
we can't
but
hear
seem
you,
to have
but-
lost viewers.
Hey, Jeff.
They're coming and going. They're coming and going. It's Saturday night. We're
Well,
here.
it's like what happened on my stream the other night. Everybody ended up in the panel, and there was nobody left
Yeah,
in the
there's
chat.
nobody
I'm like,
watching yet.
it's true. I had 10 people on the
We're
panel.
also on at the worst time
Yeah, but
because
Hello.
Neil's on.
Oh,
There you
my,
are.
Hey, Jeff.
my
There we go,
microphone's
yeah.
working now. Great.
Hey,
okay.
Jeff. How you
Okay.
doing?
Hello,
lovely?
everybody. Yeah, I'm okay.
I just realized I haven't been adding people to the description on this chat.
I'm going pixel by pixel in this picture because it's not the greatest quality image, so this is going to take a while.
Yep. I've
So
done that.
I work on it a little at a time.
That's
What
about
purpose?
the only way I can do artwork is when I can blow it up to do one pixel at a time. Otherwise, I can't keep my hand steady to put the line where I want it.
Yeah, I just suck at that stuff on computers, honestly. I really just need to get off my ass and pull out my bamboo pen I have because my laptop is a touch screen, so I can draw on it.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
why I
awesome.
don't do that.
Well, I've never really been able to draw. The only thing I can do is take out my drafting board and, when I've got all the rulers and compasses and everything's precisely measured.
I'm not a good artist either. I'm good at coloring. I can color like a bitch, man. Let me tell you. I can color with kids all day. I'm really good at it. But yeah, no, I'm not an artist.
There's quite a few places that would pay you to do that, B.
Just go in there and sit on the floor with kids and color with them. Yeah, but then you gotta deal with diapers and stuff. Nah, I'm too old for that shit. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again. I did that enough.
I thought about it. I can barely handle my son's attitude, so I don't know if I could work with kids or like teenagers or like.
Oh, teenagers, man, they're rough, dude. They're rough.
Because I was raised by I always say I was raised by adults, but it was my parents raised me old school style, so there was consequences and repercussions for your actions.
Right. Same.
So kids shut the hell up. When their adults are around, they shut their mouths because.
No, we were raised that you did not speak until you were spoken to.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
yeah.
would have to walk into the kitchen or wherever the adults were and stand there and wait. That's how I was raised. I don't care if you were dying of thirst and too short to reach the sink. You better wait and be polite, unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
Like that was the only time we were allowed to interrupt them.
That shit always drove me nuts as a kid.
What's that?
I said that shit always drove me nuts when I was a kid. Like, don't question, don't, any of
Oh
that.
yeah,
Do you know?
because
Kevin-
I said so. I heard that a lot.
Oh, I hate it. Because of that, though, I'm extremely transparent with my kid. I tell him like
Same.
I tell him the
Not,
truth.
I didn't think about it, but same.
I call it talking real to my. I just like when people say, "Oh, Uncle Leroy is gonna be," no, I'll say Uncle Leroy went to prison. He was on drugs, and he's gonna be gone for a while. Don't do what he did. Like I'll tell the truth to my kid.
Right.
Hell
yeah, you should. Although, admittedly, I do have to say, disclaimer, that was my father. And when my mom kicked him out when I was 8, that shit stopped. She was totally not like that. He was a Navy guy, and he thought the whole world was the fucking military.
Yeah, for me, the worst was when my mom, like, I would ask my mom for something like, "Hey, Mom, can I borrow the car this weekend?" And she'll be like, "We'll see." Like, "we'll see" meant no, but, rather than just saying no. And then if I did something to irritate her between, now and the weekend when I wanted it, well, I was going to let you borrow the car, but now I'm not. It's like, fuck you, bitch. You weren't going to let me borrow the car.
No, my mom didn't play that shit. She'd say yes or no right away. And if it was a yes and you fucked up, she'd go, "You fucked up. It's a no now." That's it.
And I would respect that more,
Wow, you guys
yeah.
got it easy though. And, I can remember my dad saying, silly stuff like, "Get out of the outhouse and give somebody else a chance, you little fucker."
At least it's colorful and interesting.
My pops was in the Navy, so he'd always tell me he'd give me life advice, like, don't ever meet a woman coming out of court, a clinic, in a hospital, in a AANA, Alkanon. Like, he went through all the groups.
Any anonymous group. Right.
He was like,
Don't pick one up off the suicide hotline. Right.
Oh, and he used to always tell me to stay away from the Sailor's Delight. And I didn't understand what that was until I was like, I don't know, 30 years old.
The sailor's delight another man's penis.
What, Jen?
Is a sailor's delight another man's penis?
No, it's
probably a prostitute.
Oh, okay.
It's the women who just go hang out at Navy bars and give it to everybody for free.
Well, whatever. Okay.
So, I gotta run.
Great seeing you, Jay.
It's awesome, Jay.
Bye, Jay.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jay.
Yeah, talking with you, man.
If
See
you
you,
guys
Jay.
haven't given Jen money, give her money.
Yeah, give me some money.
Yeah.
Give me money. I need money. Money.
Hey, moving house is not cheap, and even if we've reached the goal, there's still a lot of expenses in a fixer-upper house that need to be covered.
At the extra expenses we've had. I mean, hiring the skip bin.
That's true.
Was just over $500, and it was. I did not expect it to be that much.
Like, for instance.
So it all
you
adds up.
need a disco ball and a condom
Bye, Jay.
station.
Yeah. Bye, Jay.
You guys have fun. We'll see you later.
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
It's always going to happen,
Thanks.
too.
Nice meeting you.
Wind up.
What's that, Perp?
Sorry.
Now, it's always going to happen that when you're moving, you're going to wind up with some expenses that you didn't anticipate.
Always.
There's going to be some extra charges on something.
It's been crazy, and it's worrying because the plan is, aside from the debt for that, the debt that the house is itself, which while a long-term big debt, it was as cheap as I could get. That was a decent enough house. So I mean, I did buy a fixer-upper, and I had to borrow money.
Hey, Jen,
from
do you
family
have to like
Sorry?
Is this part of like you have to reserve a big truck and stuff like that?
Oh no, I'm actually
Ahead of
paying a
time?
removalist to come because I've got nobody to help me load all the big stuff. And I tried to do some of the stuff myself a few weeks back, and I was complaining to Will and Purple about how much I'd hurt myself because I couldn't move. And Perp said to me, "You've done so many fundraisers for other people, been involved with helping out with them and donating. It's about time you did one for yourself." So
absolutely.
I listened and said, "Yeah, I should do this."
I agree.
And
And because because I'm I'm subscribed to your channel, and my YouTube is always like, oh, you have massive watch time of Jen's little corner. It shows all your old videos. You've done a lot of streams for other people.
Yeah, she really has.
You've done massive amounts of streams for
And not
other
just
people.
on my channel, on other people's channels, where I've stayed up all night before to help with a fundraiser.
Yeah, and it's only and we're only talking within.
And there was no marathon for this because I figured that given how
anymore.
long I had to do the fundraiser, it will get there eventually. And I'm so thankful to Godless Granny for doing a fundraiser stream a few weeks ago for me, for all the help that Perp's done. Every single one of Perp's streams, just about since I put this up, has had the link to the donation thing. The people who've retweeted on Twitter, people who've donated. I've lost track of how many times Jeff has donated to my fundraiser. Thank you so much, Jeff. You are amazing. You are an amazing friend. You are an amazing person.
It's at least 3 times. I know that. It's at least 3 times.
I know.
That's awesome.
And they've not been little amounts either. So
I only donated twice, so you got one up on me, buddy.
So I thank you all, everyone who's donated, everyone who's been part of streams, everyone who's been there for me, who's been around to talk to when I've needed somebody to talk to, who've put up with me being fairly absent from other things because I've been so busy with shifting. I hope to change that once I'm in, even though I'll be doing a lot of work still. I want to get back into being on people's streams more often. I've tried to, even whilst I've been doing this, but I want to hit those streams that are on weird hours for me again as well, because other people do it for me, and I want to give back. I think the community is worth giving to, even if you don't have money in your pockets. It's showing up to things like this, being part of the discussion, retweeting it, helping people within the community who need help is absolutely amazing, and I love this community
We just lost
for
B.
that. There are things about this community I don't like, and where's B gone?
I agree, Jen.
She'll be back.
But there's things about this community
This
that
touched
I don't
my
like.
heart. It really does.
But the ability of us all to help each other. I mean, and not just people who've helped me. Look at the people who've helped Telltale, with the crap that's happened to Telltale recently.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of other fundraisers recently, and they've all raised goals. They've all helped people. Even if I don't get any more, I raised my goal. I'd like to get more because that will go towards the extra costs that I wasn't aware of. But I will manage now, and I was actually worried that I wouldn't manage, which was why I was trying to do everything myself. So I am internally grateful to everyone in the community who has helped, and I thank you so much.
Awesome.
Yes. And hey, like I am happy to be
Totally
here.
awesome.
I chipped in what I could. And like I show up, like, you know.
You're always around, Kitty. We love you.
Well, thank you. But no, like I definitely I'm just now learning this design software, and I figured coloring an image would be a great way to kind of familiarize myself with the tools, because I've never used Photoshop before. But luckily I've got Chris, and Chris actually took a class in Photoshop, and he said this is similar enough that like he, you know, was able to jump in and show me the basics. So now I'm literally going through it. It's going to take me hours to, you know, color each and every pixel. But once I get a little bit more familiar with it, I want to start doing more like custom designs and everything like that. And I want to do like a custom design thing for you guys and like for the What the Fuck show. And then like I'm literally gonna make like little stickers and stuff, because I think it would be a lot of fun to do that. And then when I do get around to making the logo and like I make the stickers and stuff, then maybe we can do giveaways, and like I can make some items and brand them, and we can have like a community giveaway, and I'll send a swag bag to, you know, whoever wins.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Wow,
I think we've got lots of ideas for the What the Fuck show, haven't we?
That's awesome.
Giving it all away, aren't you? Just everything that you come across.
So I have I have a question for Kevin to take this stream in a completely different direction.
Uh-oh.
Do you so you have a fan now? You have someone who's gonna follow you around in all your streams and preach their what is this guy's stance that we all suck?
I don't even know if it's that. I don't know if he knows what he's saying. He's got some logical argument.
Why is he not like? And keep in mind, this man is that his wife or his girlfriend?
I guess it's his girlfriend, and he did confirm my hypothesis when I said that I didn't know that his abuser wasn't his current partner, and he said I never said that it wasn't. So now there's that whole dynamic.
That he's saying he's admitting to being an abuser.
That's what he's claiming, yeah.
That's why he's in chat challenging people, calling Grumpy the N-word, telling me like meet me in meat space and all this tough guy
Because he's
stuff.
basically just an asshole.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
Oh, that guy!
I expected to take this turn. But
Oh my God! Take a photo of that.
Hold on. Is this the guy that
Kitty,
I...
that was an awesome scene right there of just love.
Yes, Jeff. This is the guy that was on Twitter.
It was pretty cool.
Yes, Jeff.
This is the guy I was having a bit of fun trolling with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's had a lot of fun on my channel. So I've given him zero airtime after what he did with Grumpy. So, well, I mean, I've talked about him, but not with him, and I'm letting him run his comments. But at this point, he's
always run their mouths.
But that's how you treat a narcissist. That's how you treat a narcissist. You tell them, like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about you. Because this person, we need to bring not necessarily this person to the light, but we need to bring their ideals and the bullshit they're saying to light to show people how BS it is.
Well, I think the thing because I caught up with that I caught up with that stuff that stream he did with Ed, and it was just it was one of the most dishonest things I'd ever seen. The way he was trying to shift the burden of proof, because he basically made this claim that black people are genetically more inherent towards violence than white people. That seems to be his claim.
Genetically speaking, we all
he has zero. And this is the thing. This is what I think Ed was trying to get to. Right? Okay. So, do you have any evidence, any studies whatsoever to support that claim? And he was just like, and his whole thing was like, no, it's like he was just trying to shift it to like Ed.
I don't know if you made it, but he actually made the claim that science has not provided these studies because they're just cowards. He actually said that towards the end, and I'm like, do you not know that eugenics was considered?
Because
okay,
this is the same argument we were talking about earlier.
Because that's what science is all about,
They try to say that there's this higher degree of things, but you're ignoring the fact that socioeconomics is what changes those statistics more so than anything to do with who somebody is or genetics, from anything of that nature. It's your socioeconomic position that's more likely to put you in a position of being in a more in trouble with the law category. Because
shocker, I live in the suburbs, and we have. So go ahead.
I saw those DMs though, and I mean, really, he showed his true colours there and then, really, when he DM'd Ed calling him the N-word. So
that's what I'm saying.
So fuck that guy,
But it made me laugh because Kevin had a stream earlier, and I clicked on it, and he had made a comment when did you set up that stream? Because I checked early.
I set it up 2 or 3 days ago, and he had commented on it this morning. And it's like 3 a.m. my time, which I guess maybe is like 7 a.m. for him. So.
I thought he lived out here. That kind of makes me disappointed because he was like telling me he'll meet me anywhere. I was going to give him directions.
An address on Twitter. Apparently, he was like that. He was like, if you want to come and see me, here's my address. I was like, okay, dude.
Give me that address. I'm gonna call 100 pizzas to his house. It's just ridiculous. He's a baby. I'm sorry. If you come on the internet and you're like, "Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro," there's something wrong with you. You know, there is something seriously wrong with you. And I'm as somebody who's been in actual fist fights, who's been shot at, like, I'm a very tactile person. On the internet, we can do nothing but talk shit to each other. Like, you could say anything on the internet, you know?
Oh, well, yeah, for sure, until you actually have to meet the person.
Exactly.
When you have to back up your bullshit.
Yeah, no, I do think the guy is getting his rocks off on this. I think he gets off on having arguments.
And that's why
he's got rocks.
He's trolling
and
our
he's
neighbor.
rocks atheists.
You know,
I mean, I'll be honest.
Most people on the internet these days are a bunch of keyboard pussies.
I agree.
When I came home from the military, my own father shot me right there in the goddamn right shoulder, and I didn't have any grudges against him. That's just how the way he was. And everybody else that I know that talked tough and everything was just, full of shit.
Yeah. Well, he did the
So
I mean,
that's just how people are these days. They got a platform to talk shit, but they can't back it up.
That's true.
I will admit that my sole reason I interacted with this guy was just to troll him. Because I'm like, you can't have a serious discussion with somebody who thinks like that, But that was my sole, and because he was going like he was doing the whole like debate me now thing.
Yeah, that drives me insane.
And my response was, I said, I've got this. Sorry, I have this rule. I don't do debates with dishonest pseudo intellectual peons. By the way, this means you.
So, Kevin, what did he say when you muted him today?
Oh, actually, I didn't see anything after that. After I gave him time out, he never came. I haven't checked the comments since then. But there's, like I said, my video yesterday, I haven't even read all of them. There's like 50 or maybe 100 comments from him just trying to.
I'm gonna look right now.
It's
See,
crazy.
I am half Mexican, so I love.
Wait! Is this the same guy?
Chisme and drama, as long as I'm not involved.
Is this? I'm sorry.
It's okay, Randy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's okay.
Is this the same guy that grumpy old dude called a buggin the other day? And
lots of people
and a racist because he called him the N-word.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys all had a conversation with the cute girl with the dimples.
Yeah, that's his girlfriend.
And she is the significant other of this girl. And okay, so now I'm getting the puzzle pieces put together and everything. I did not know or did not view a bunch of the comments from this person in order to hear the racist BS.
No, but she is racist as well. She is racist as well, and that's the point. That was that. If you watch,
and that's why you put in. Godless sewing. This is why you put in. Hey, you need to get a different representative for people of color.
Yeah, Randy was there.
Chick.
Randy was there. I lost it in Kevin's chat that day. I did. I lost it.
I agree. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Is this opposite world? What the fuck?
I made friends. I made friends that
how
day.
How am I gonna jerk off to this?
I thought that was hilarious, dude. I was trying not to crack up on stream while I was reading that shit, because I'm trying to take them seriously, kind of, and
I'm in there like, who? I can't even repeat what I said. No, that's the thing. I'm confrontational.
You know how it is.
I love to have fun. For as much as I love people, I defend my position 100%. If I lived in, never mind, I won't say that. I defend my position.
Like I said, I couldn't. I mean,
Well,
I can't.
No matter whose channel it is,
Go ahead, Jeff. Hold on one second.
and no matter what the topic is, you're always gonna once in a while. You're only gonna find somebody like this once in a while, and it's just like I can't remember if it was on your channel, Kevin, or somebody else's, but it was on B Station that the guy from Chicago, he was really cool until he started talking about I can prove scientifically that God exists, and I'm like,
Yeah, that did throw me off. Jen, Raven says you should reboot your. You should refresh your number, your total.
Oh, should I? Okay. I was
So Kevin, my real question is,
thank you.
How long do you expect this person? Oh, that's awesome! Yay!
I've just hopped on Tarts and Neil's chats and saying to you guys, hey, when you finish, everyone hop over here.
Oh, I know. Neil could be going for quite a while yet, though.
My whole point is, I'm not saying this person's name because I'm not trying to get him any subscribers or followers or anything. Just you'll know when you meet them because they will curse you out, and they're a chump. Because most people who have internet muscles are complete wieners in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to answer your question, I'm nearing pretty much the end of my interactions with that person. I'm just waiting to see if Grumpy does get a legitimate moderated debate with him or not, and what happens with that.
It's called no. Do you know what we call those? We call those dumpster fires.
Oh, yeah. I do not think he wants. I don't think that guy wants to be in a moderated debate sort of setting, because here's the thing. Part of the thing he did with Ed as well, what with Grumpy, was he tried to shout over Ed every blooming chance he got. He's not going to want. Yeah, he's. It almost reminded me of it kind of reminded me almost of sort of like one or two flat earthers I've seen who will just resort to shouting over people if they, I mean, I really thought Ed was way kinder to this guy, didn't I? I think he had, Ed was way nicer to this guy than that guy had any right to,
Well, I did feel responsible for that in a way, as being like, hey, I'm trying to get, because they got into the whole argument on Twitter first because of my retweet, whatever, and then I tried to smooth it out. I was okay, let's all get reasonable and get together and talk this out, and it seemed like it was going that way, and then whatever happened behind the scenes between them.
So I want to tell you, as a complete hothead, when you get hotheads involved, one word could always bring it right back to zero, and that's the problem when arguing with someone like that. And he doesn't even have a real point.
What word is that?
His whole point is that we all sucks, eugenics, cis white males, blah blah blah. That is his argument. And I'm sorry.
I think, to be honest, this is just my thing. The second he started throwing the N-word about, even if it's in DMs, at that point he's lost any right to be involved in discourse at that point.
I'm going to tell you guys something. I have been reading Scientific American since I don't know, for 25 years, okay?
And he's still not any more intelligent.
I am the most unscientific person that you will ever meet in your life.
Oh.
But if you go on Scientific America's website and you go in their backlog, there's an entire month where they dedicated to our mitochondrial DNA, and it literally shows how all human beings come from the same tribe in Africa. I'm sorry. We're
I
all
do
kind
want to
of.
get like
We're all-
somebody who
we're-
legitimately knows genetics to like break this down. It's really simple. There is no gene for violence. The gene for melanin isn't linked to some other.
No, he's making this shit up. No,
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
I'm going to say a name that most people might not know, but there's this guy named Bobby Hemmett. You should look him up. He's another YouTube rabbit hole. He's an old school guy from the 80s and, well, he's from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And he basically preaches black nationalism, but he takes it from the standpoint of science. And he is basically saying the same thing as that other guy. You can take any side and use science to skew it towards your bullshit view. You know? That's why he made me laugh, because this guy doesn't even know that there are black people who use that same argument for white people, who say that very thing, that everything that he says, you know. So I am gonna have no voice tomorrow.
It's so adorable.
This guy, he's a complete mess. He
Can you
needs to go
tell your
educate
bow to
himself.
lean down? Harmonica Man says hi.
This guy seriously needs to educate himself. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff. There, you know, I watch this guy named Leo Muhammad, who is in what's it called, Jeff? Speaker's Corner?
Yeah.
Is it called?
Oh,
Speaker's
in the
Corner?
Hyde Park, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Nation of
right, yeah.
Islam, 5% Nation of Islam guy. He preaches the same thing that this eugenics guy was preaching, but instead of black people, he just says white people. You know. Aw.
Did you find that amusing where he also tried to spin it and say most white people are cowards? I thought that was great. That was hilarious.
You're gonna make me spit out my coffee on that one.
That was a speak for yourself, bro. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a white person that has not only wrangled an alligator, but also had a motherfucker come at me with a katana, like dead ass wanting to take my head off, and they hesitated and didn't do it because I held my ground and I looked them in the eye, and then we talked it out, and it's one of my best friends now. But it was literally like, if you want to generalize all, you know, people, like, you're dumb. Like, you literally can't paint with that broad of a brush unless it's something that is that broad of
can't stereotype.
All people, if you cut all living people, if you cut them, they will bleed. Cool. You can paint with that broad brush in that respect, you know, or if you fucking chop someone's head off, they're going to die. Okay. That, again, broad brush you can paint with. But when it comes to like things that are far too individual and there's way too much variant there, like you just can't.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah,
I've been
I-
disappointing
I-
women for years.
But,
And that
I
seems to
mean-
be the general story.
I mean, it's to me now though. I think that guy really is. To me, I feel like he's been given way more attention than he deserves now. But I mean,
That's
it's up
why-
to Ed, hey, look, if Ed wants to do a proper debate with him on a moderate, that's up to him. But
I
personally,
apologize
know
for the
I
helicopter.
would.
I'm guessing there's a fire somewhere.
That's not good.
Personally, no. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you know, I can't. I wouldn't debate I wouldn't even debate an idea like that. I just think it's such a ridiculous.
He's a real life raced realist. There's nothing to talk about. Like,
There is zero to talk about.
I've been doing a podcast with Sam Chaos and Maddie. What's her you know why? It's because it's because I finally finished that giant joint I rolled.
No, I gotta say, Maddie, the patience she showed with Nathan Thompson the other week.
We talked about that too. She is she's actually an extremely kind and nice person. So I can't say I hate all Christians or all Christians are this or that.
Oh no, she's sound.
I've come fond to making podcasts with Sam and her, you know. So I'm not here to say, oh, I hate all Christians or anything like that. When people start typecasting, they show who and what they are. I can't be around absolutists.
Like the kind of Christians that I hate are the ones that want to use their religion to legislate what I can do or
The
what others
controlling
can do.
fuckers.
Exactly.
The controlling fuckers that want
Yep,
to
and they're
infringe on my rights
supremely
or the
ignorant.
rights of others.
But
Like
that's the same
those
with
are the
anybody.
religious people I don't like.
As soon as you want to control other people, you can just fuck right off.
That's my thing. Do whatever you want. Leave people alone.
Yeah.
You know, don't harm others.
Yeah.
There's a short list.
Exactly.
Don't harm others. You know. I honestly, I teach my son that because we'll be walking around and someone will be doing something, and I'm like, hey, this is a good lesson in minding your own business. Keep walking. You know,
You can take a big slice of mind your own fucking business with that.
yeah, exactly. Because people gig out all the time here now. Like, even where I live, people act nuts. I've been known to pull my phone out, but I'm not going to get up and
phone. Is that what we're calling it now?
No,
He's rubbernecking.
You know,
basically, he's just rubbernecking, and
I tried to
that's
record
it.
some.
Yesterday, it's
I
certainly
tried to
bendy, but I
record
don't know
some
that
stuff,
I'd call it rubber.
and I had my cousin. Where's at the river, and there's some campers, and my cousin was talking to this guy. Oh yeah, this country's going to hell and all that shit, and it's going to be socialism, and socialism is the same thing as communism. That's next, and blah blah. I said, you know what? You have no clue what the hell you're talking about. It's not the same as communism, and the shit's not coming along. This is since Reagan, the past 50 years. Has been be afraid of socialism, and the right has been screwing you over and telling you who to hate the whole time since. And he looked at me and he said, "Don't argue. You're not a Republican." And I said, "Jack, fuck you. You don't get to tell me.
We're
You don't
probably
get to
going to
hush
stream
me.
for another hour, but
Because you and somebody else are talking about shit that you don't even know."
I'm going to say because
they literally, they tried to silence me because they didn't agree. I'm sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. I realize there's a
done.
delay, and I thought there was a gap, and there wasn't. I apologize. I was just going to say we're probably going to go for about another hour. I can go a little bit longer than that, but not much. But we'll probably have had it by then. But what I will say is we're at $1,530. If we make it to $1,700, which is another $170, which is unlikely, but if we do, I will do my party trick again on stream. For all those who haven't seen it.
The one time I take my headphones out to readjust them, you're talking about getting naked.
No, I wasn't talking about getting naked. I was talking about demonstrating that I don't have a gag reflex.
Oh. Well, I see that all the time. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not for your benefit. So I will get my good friend Blackie out.
I'm so glad
it's not modeled on Will.
I'm so glad that started making.
Well, just remember, one day you're going to actually get to see it up close and for yourself. So.
Do you know I was gonna
I've seen it in the shower.
I was gonna make a thread about something about a G-string or something, but I'm glad you brought Blackie out, so have at it.
I could say I get lynched in the US for calling it that. But I will demonstrate that I don't have a gag reflex if we make it to $1,700 by the end of the stream.
Awesome.
Somewhere
many people
I
watching.
really
so
wish I could
unlikely
afford
to
it this
happen.
month. I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
What's that, Burp?
Somewhere on the internet, there's a video of me doing the banana trick.
Oh.
Do you know when anyone ever no, I can't give away trade secrets. I'm not that high. Never mind. Carry on.
I ended up having to deep throat a banana once.
Nah, I don't do that well.
I was at a youth group thing. It was like a youth group summer camp at this church. And because I was the smallest person, when we had to do like the team building exercise of making the pyramid, I was the one on top. And then they're like, oh, you have to eat the whole banana before you can get down. And I'm like, well, fuck this. And like, I don't like bananas unless they're like in ice cream smoothies or like cereal. I don't like the texture. So, you know, I prefer like when it's in something like more moist, you know, it's the dryness of it. So like I literally just said fuck this and I just like swallowed it down in one go.
And then you were popular. Then you were the most popular person after that.
I'm planning on doing a video that's a tutorial about how to deep throat for anybody who's ever wondered how. I mean, it's easy when you don't have a gag reflex, but it's possible to learn to control your gag reflex as well. There is techniques.
I used to not have one, and then now I've kind of developed one. So, like, I definitely need to work on that.
So I was thinking making a video about that. I planned on it ages
I've
ago,
always
but
had a
never
bad
got
gag
around.
reflex.
It'll
Wake
be a
up with
naked
sinus
video too, 'cause I haven't done
problems
one
and
for a while.
lung problems and all kinds of shit. I'm
We
in there
need to do
hacking
a
and
naked
gagging
what
for
the
an
fuck
hour
show.
every morning.
Ooh. Okay, but you have to give me at least like a month and a half warning because I've been really lax on working out since COVID. And I'm at that size where if I
Same here.
if I hit it hard for like a month and a half, I'd be buff.
You hit it hard for a month and a half, you wear it out.
Really hard.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, there's the you don't use it, you lose it, but you know
All
there
I
is
got
a
to
use it too
say-
much.
No, because I used to surf, and when Isaiah was born, I stopped surfing, and I stopped a lot of the physical activities I used to do. So every year I would work out to compensate for that, and I looked good every year. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, who am I trying to impress in my house?
Me.
No one.
But what were you telling me about flashlights and penis skin? Flashlights, not flashlights.
Oh, okay. So
He's gonna get it up.
this is old Rusty. And old Rusty wants to
Literally.
teach you a lesson. If you don't properly, I'm so tired. If you don't properly lubricate your
It looks like a
fleshlight,
Star Trek
you
prop.
could. I can't open it because it's gross. This thing's old. But if you isn't that funny how close a fleshlight is within arm's reach?
Hey, Blackie was in arm's reach.
Stool. Where's Stool when you need him? This should be. My whole point is you can using if you don't properly lubricate your plastic vagina, you can rub the skin of your penis off.
Same
So you have
problem
to be
happens if you
careful.
don't properly lubricate your girlfriend.
So if you don't know what you're doing, you could really hurt yourself with a fleshlight. And I'm here to teach.
Duly noted.
I know somebody that they tend to be a little bit rough with their dick when they're fapping, and they have literally like chafed flesh off. From
It's happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's sensitive skin, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I even knew a girl that. Never mind. I don't want to tell that story either. It's not that kind of stream. It's mean. It's a size thing. So I knew a girl that had
I know a lot of them. I know what you mean.
What are they called? IUD? IED?
IUD,
Okay,
intrauterine device.
And it was copper, and so if you hit it at the right spot, it would rub a part of your wank, and it was real because the thing is sensitive.
Hang on, that shouldn't happen because the IUD is inside the uterus. Your penis doesn't enter the uterus when you.
Yeah, the cervix. I mean, it might have been the string because the IUDs do have the little cord
There was something in
that
there.
hangs down, and you're supposed to check
Yeah.
the strings.
See, now I'm telling on myself.
Every month.
This was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the device itself, but the removal strings.
There was something
I mean,
in there.
there's something there's something grossly wrong with her cervix if it was the IUD.
Like, I know
Reminds
that's
me
a
of an
thing,
Italian
but
girl I
still.
dated once, and all you needed to add a little olive oil once in a while.
Yikes.
Popeye
I would
loves
not
olive oil.
want olive oil down there. No, thank you. I do not
What?
need my fucking shit
What?
smelling like pizzeria.
Popeye didn't complain.
It went with the caviar and crackers. Get over it.
You know, I got some really bad gardening advice. If you ever want to kill weeds that are not growing, you can use vinegar, like good old industrial vinegar, but your backyard will smell like a salad for months.
You know, talking about smells, with all the spinach Popeye ate, wouldn't he have smelled disgusting?
Yes.
And his fucking cum would have been so fucking bitter.
That's why olive oil was so thin and had that look on her face.
But it was heroin chic.
I always wonder if she ever swallowed. Did she suddenly? I always wondered, like, did she get sort of like super strong as she ever swallowed?
I want to taste that though. Like, ugh, with all that spinach? No, thank you.
She would have been better off with the bum named Wimpy. I'll have sex with you today for a payment on Tuesday.
Talk about abusive relationships. Brutus was always kidnapping her.
Like, there's a theory that Mario...
He should have been with Alice the Goon.
There's a theory that, like, Princess Peach actually, you know, is wanting to be with Bowser because, like, Bowser kidnapped Peach in order to be a mother figure for his adopted kids. And, like, that's in, like, the Mario comics, like, that's a thing. And, like, Mario keeps going and stealing her back, but that, you know... Some say, oh, well, it's Stockholm Syndrome why she wants to stay with Bowser, you know, but there's that whole theory that basically she doesn't want Mario to kidnap her back. Like, she wants to stay with Bowser.
Is Mario actually a hero, though, in those stories?
Okay, didn't she...
It's not like she asked him to go rescue her.
It's a great game that I play when I get rich.
How do you trust a chick who hooks up
with... It's not just Bowser, though. It's like, you know, Donkey Kong as well used to...
Yeah, well, it was Mario's father. Mario's father was the one that was abusing Donkey Kong's father. Like,
I've seen that game theory.
I love Matt Pat so much. Have you seen his new channel, Food Theory?
No.
Yes, Isaiah watches all of that. Isaiah watches.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I get lost watching.
We should persuade him to do one about Popeye and his stench.
No, because wasn't it
live on spinach? That's disgusting.
Okay.
Wow, can we get back to porn?
What was the person's name from the Partridge Family? The daughter, she ate nothing but carrots and her skin turned orange.
Oh, that can happen. Yeah, people who drink lots.
They covered that in the Magic School Bus episode. I remember that from when I was a kid.
I don't remember that.
It was also on
She was like
House.
thin. She was grossly anorexic, and all she ate were carrots, and it started dyeing her skin. She basically was
reading about that.
That's one of the things they, when I was a kid, they tell you these stories to scare you straight, so you wouldn't just eat one thing.
That must have been one of the parts I blocked out. I blocked out a lot of my childhood.
You know what though? Back then they didn't talk about
Probably
anorexia. They probably just got her help and didn't say anything. You know, it was
Oliver
a different
looks like
era.
She's anorexic.
Yeah, they probably added tomatoes or something.
So
And what's with all those carrots? Why do they need such good eyesight anyway?
I agree.
Oh wow,
Totally.
Buffy.
Let's see, we're back.
So many years ago, you just made
You know, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
so.
I don't...
We've been off topic for a long time.
We
To
never
be fair,
had
there was no topic.
aside from trying to raise money, we've never had a topic.
This is just friends coming together, hanging out.
Yeah,
and
okay,
hoping that
there you
people
go.
will open
This
their
is a
checkbooks.
legitimately what the fuck show.
We'll just say if anyone in the live chat is like disgusted by the sort of tone of the conversation, give to Jen's fundraiser, and we'll start talking about something else.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you give no, see, I'm not gonna start making promises because I'm gonna say something crazy and then someone's gonna do it, and then I'm gonna have to do the crazy thing that
No,
I
do
just
it,
said.
do it. We're wasting money. Come on.
All right,
How
if,
about for anybody donating $100, they can submit the topic.
There you go.
and if you donate
Oh, that's
1,000, I'll read. Let's see. You could choose between a biology book or Genesis chapter 1. I'll read it naked with with tube socks on. So I'll have my legs up, full tube socks,
what-
hockey socks up past my knee. There you go.
I was
$1,000.
just going to say what appendage would you be wearing the sock on, but
You've
anyway,
got like
never mind.
5 minutes.
A guy naked with tube socks just sounds like such a 70s porno.
And now it's making me feel like I should promise like a topless picture of myself for $1,000.
No, that would be like
you
you
want to be
$1,000 is a
careful
lot
with
of
that
money.
because there's probably somebody out there that would pay it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There are pictures of my tits on the internet. I don't care. If somebody wants to donate $1,000, I will gladly send them a picture of me topless. I give 0 fucks.
Rachel Oates had done something
Okay,
like
what's
that.
the word
as a
I'm
joke
looking
kid put on
for
her
again?
Patreon.
What's that, Purple?
If you do donate $1,000 for Kitty to do that, you'll have to not donate anonymously, so we know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What, say that again, Purple. Sorry.
Rachel Oates had
Things
put as a
that
joke
make
on
you
her
go.
Patreon that for $1,000 she would send a lock of her hair, and she wound up with a stalker that way.
Yeah, I can see that. $1,000 for a lock of hair. That's better than who sold their
Yeah,
bathwater.
you don't want to send pheromones.
Belle Delphine.
Isaiah watches these videos. They're talking trash about these people.
Yeah, no, Belle Delphine, she's the fucking boss, man. Like, I mean, she makes bank off of fucking people on the internet just
That's
like
still a phrase.
lusting after her.
So, because I'm anti slut shaming, and if you do, I will fight you. Nothing but props to her for that. If you can get paid
yeah.
off your body, I'm not judging.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, if I thought people would pay for it, I'd be doing it.
People,
I'd have an OnlyFans if I thought people would send me money every month.
I've thought about doing an OnlyFans.
Put on the mask
back
and
on.
see what put on your mask and see what happens. I guarantee you, Perp, if you started an OnlyFans, people would watch you and pay.
Well, I suppose it would kind of tap into the furry community that way.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever followed through on Bub's links?
I know, because you got the...
No.
Bub, I give Bub props. I'll just put it that way and end it there. Jen knows what I'm talking about.
Man, I
never
there's
clicked on
so
the
much
link. I don't know where that
stuff
goes.
that I'm clueless about.
I'm just saying, people that's one of my shaky platforms that I stand on, is ending the stigma in general about sex work, slut shaming, all of it. Get over yourself. People have sex. People make money off of sex.
You're done, Kitty. I just tweeted it.
Hey. Like I said, you need money for the new house, and I don't care. Like, if a picture of my tits will get $1,000 into the coffer to help you move,
thank you.
They're just boobs.
I reckon if somebody donates $500,
Yeah.
you and I should do a stream together where we're both butt naked and we just talk about sex.
I've
Well,
been
you know what they say.
I've been threatening to get naked for a while.
Once you see one pair of boobs,
You want to see them all?
yeah, you know, that's what they say. You know, once you see one pair of boobs, yeah, you want to see them all.
I've seen that Ron White
That's
skit.
me. Yeah, that was just one of the silliest things. I use the one thing that he uses in his skit of when he did a show at a casino, and he was in his a little camper and everything, and he walked outside and it was 0 degrees out. And his wife said, "Hey, what's the temperature?" And he looked at the thermometer and said, "We ain't got one." Put the coffee on because it was 0.
That's funny.
And I say that a lot in the wintertime here because it's like 0 degrees for a couple of months here. What's the temperature? I ain't got one. Piss off. Go get some liquor at the liquor store. It's some damn beef jerky and cheese and shit. Because that's what we do.
Oh man, this is.
I just recently got out of the hospital, and I was just hired in a kite. When I got out of this little procedure. And they're like, "Yeah, you need to get this guy something to eat." And I said, "Hey, I'll have some beaver meat." And they took it the wrong way. They thought it was something sexual. Well, I like beaver meat. I was raised around a bunch of trappers and shit, and it's like, yeah, beaver tastes pretty good. I'll eat meat from beaver. A lot of times you got to shave your beaver.
A long time ago, I went to an ostrich festival, and I thought it was the weirdest thing that people were walking around eating ostrich legs and at a petting zoo with ostriches. I thought I never got over that. It's like going to the zoo and eating a monkey paw.
Oh my God. I will eat ostrich until the day I die. That stuff is so good.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a ostrich is gross. It's like, it kind of tastes like turkey, but it's gross. That's an awesome shirt.
Really? You've been eating the wrong damn ostrich. It's like beef except way sweeter.
Yeah, that's an awesome shirt.
The fat is much better.
Oh, this is an old one.
Yep. Apparently, Minnesota's too cold for the ostriches, but we've got a couple of emu farms.
I'm sure you do. They go pretty good in the north here.
How do
I'm
they
on my
taste?
phone, so it's a bit.
Oh, it looks good.
I'm surprised that emu can take the winter.
I always wondered about that. Like
I'm pretty sure they have special accommodations for them here in the north.
Well, they've got barns for them, but I mean, just I had thought of them as being a much more warm weather animal. But
do you know what we have here? What I think is cruel is we have buffaloes here. In my town, there was a very famous silent film star who had a mansion, and they turned his ranch into a museum. And it's a park, and it's this giant park in my town, and he had buffalo. And there's still buffalo there, but it gets to be like 105 here. I just think it's the cruelest thing to keep buffalo somewhere where it's like 105 degrees outside.
Hold on. It's okay. Now, is this place like a buffalo breeding ground or something like that, or did the buffalo just kind of come and go?
I think they constantly replenish the buffalo
ranch to public.
No, it's open to the public, but it's like it's a zoo, but they only have buffalo.
Okay, well, to be fair, there were buffalo there. Actually, there were buffalo everywhere, even here in the Midwest and in the East. There's like woodland buffalo and everything in the United States until they became extinct. But they had these temperatures way back when, a couple hundred years ago, and they survived just
Jen, I have a quick question.
Well.
Did you make Twitter explode? Because a couple people just jumped on after your tweet.
I also
we got a couple of linkers
Tarts and Neil's things and pointed it out. So, hi everybody who joined. I will have to tell you guys the conditions for getting the topless pic of Kitty are quite steep.
Oh, the numbers jumped again.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
No, hold on.
I
No,
doubt
I'll
anybody's
take your
going
word
to
for
meet
it.
them,
You know, she's
but
hot
if
enough as
somebody
it is.
donates $1,000, you will get a personalized topless picture from Kitty in appreciation. Well, there's also
Holy
Kitty
shit.
and I. If someone
I don't get
donates
paid for another
$500,
week.
we will do a combined stream with the two of us where we are both naked. You won't see as much as with a topless picture because it'd be more like my naked streams, but we will both be naked and we will talk about sex for a good hour and a half.
So I have a question. If we have a naked stream, can I show my Jupiter giant nipples? Because we live in a sexist society.
Go on.
We'll do a naked what the fuck show if
I'm
somebody
listening.
donates $500. We will do a naked what the fuck show. It'll be a requirement of
Spoiler.
anyone who's a guest to be naked as well, and we will do a naked what the fuck show.
Spoiler, they're like,
I think
they're like
I'll be spitting
seriously.
that one out. No one wants to see that. Me.
I have giant nipples, and they're the color of my shirt. Just to warn
He
you.
has awesome nipples.
See, I
He's almost
actually, I
got better
could
nipples
probably- I
than
was
me.
thinking
I'm
that I
kind of
could-
jealous.
They're huge. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
My nipples are pierced, so
That reminds me,
Why are you
Will. I
sensitive?
gotta
Because
get
they're
a
giant.
fishing license.
My ex-husband had pierced nipples, and one of them got infected.
See, that's gross. I watch videos. I'm not trying to give. So I watch Rolly, and if you don't know about Rolly, Rolly's awesome. But Rolly just reviews like people that post all their horrible piercing videos. People are gross.
well,
For
people
the
are
record,
really
if we
into
make
their
it
shit.
to
Yeah, they're insane. People
if
are
we make
insane.
it to $1,700 before the end of the stream, I'm going to demonstrate why I don't have a gag reflex, and Blackie here is going to have a good time.
It's a bunch of hardened
Live on stream.
criminals trying to corrupt a young offender.
Now,
Yes.
see, I can't do it with toys like that. The texture's wrong, and it just
They
you know,
taste
that causes
revolting,
a
but I
problem
will
for me.
do it.
See, that's where you just like lube it up with
Holy
something
shit.
tasty.
You guys,
Oh, Jenny's in
You guys
in
are out of this
Australia, so it's
world.
going to have to be
and that's
Vegemite.
coming from a blues man.
And upside down.
Yeah, I can flip myself upside down.
Hey, I'm very like sex positive, body positive. Like, I mean, if anybody knows what FetLife is, there are pictures of my tits on FetLife right now. So, you know.
I didn't know what
on.
it was until Perp said something one day. They said something and I was like, "Ooh, what's that?" I'd never, I thought I was one of the most sexually open people on planet Earth, and then I got on YouTube and I was like, "Wow, there's things I'd never even heard of." I was like, "What? I gotta Google this. I had never heard of this."
FetLife, for anyone who doesn't know, is
Well, the one thing I
basically,
won't
like,
do is somebody
Facebook
that's
for
in a
kinky
solid
people.
relationship.
What's that, Kitty? Hold on, Randy. What's that?
No, I was just saying for anyone who doesn't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kitty.
No, it's okay. For anyone who doesn't know, FetLife is basically Facebook for kinky people, like bondage and shit.
Oh, we should do another kink
Don't have
stream.
Facebook.
That's what we can do as the theme for our naked what the fuck show.
I had a
We'll talk about
threesome.
kink.
One time.
Okay, let Randy go.
Sorry, Randy.
I had a threesome one time with a girl named Carol, and the next morning, it was just her, not her friend. And she showed up at this little cafe. I invited her to breakfast, and we had bacon and eggs and pancakes and shit like that. And there was only one other person in there, this guy in a booth right behind me. And, we got to talking and everything. And she's like, I'm married, right? And I'm like, oh, my God, I did not know that. Can I smell your beaver? And she's like, oh, my God, no. And I'm like, well, it must be your feet then.
Oh!
And then she got up and left.
Oh.
Around
and then the guy
here,
in the
that will
booth
get you
behind
stabbed.
me just cracked up laughing, and I'm like, hey, we got some free bacon. You want some? And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? So we shared her plate of bacon and tater tots and ketchup. It was a great day.
So I've told this story before, but I knew these. They were codename called the Germans, but long story short, this was years ago. I was somewhere and this woman was like, "Hey, let's go hang out at your house," which is code for "let's go have sex." And I was like, "Yes, please." So
You can
she
hang
came
out
over.
at my house anytime.
Okay. I did recently tell this story. So long story short, we had sex. I dropped her off at her house. I had another friend over that evening who was here, and she actually was my friend. Like we're still friends. Anyways, my whole point is she came back with her husband. I famously have told the story how I called my dad because he lives in the same neighborhood, and I was like, "You have to shoot this white guy." There is someone coming. There's some strange person at my door, and the guy was like, "Hey, I'm not here to scare you. I just want to watch." Yeah,
Hey,
no,
Craig's all good.
you know what? Though, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not shaming at all. They grossed me out. They just grossed me out. So I never, I never did it in front of him. I never did his.
Yeah,
he
that's
wanted me-
something that really.
I don't even like peeing at Dodger Stadium because they have troughs.
You got to be a harmonica man.
At the old Dodger Stadium, because our stadium was built in the 70s. They have all the men's bathrooms. There's no stalls. It's just troughs.
I thought it was built in the 50s. They did a new one since then.
No, it's the same one. I think it was built in the late 50s or 60s. I have to look that up now. It's been a while.
Excuse me. 59 when they left Brooklyn, wasn't it? Something like that. But
yeah, it's somewhere around there. It's been a while.
I'm actually, because I've done a couple of like sports videos and that on some like historic boxing matches and that. I'm actually doing some research on for another one, but it's going to be baseball related. I'm digging into the Black Sox scandal, researching that at the moment. But it's weird though, because I'm finding out a lot of things I thought I knew about that are complete myths. So I'm finding it quite an interesting little thing to dig into.
You could also do the Curse of Colonel Sanders for the Japanese baseball team.
I haven't.
What's that?
I'm unaware of that one. I knew the one obviously on the Red Sox for years about the Babe Ruth curse thing, but I don't know
that
this
was
one.
No
but...
way.
Okay.
It was 1962, by the way.
So, the Curse of Colonel Sanders, basically, it goes back to I believe it was like the 1970s or so. KFC did a brilliant thing by basically getting people in Japan to associate fried chicken with Christmas. So literally there are waiting lists for KFC chicken for Christmas dinner in Japan.
That's so awesome.
Colonel Sanders, because of it, is a national treasure. And there was a Colonel Sanders statue, and there was a baseball game from a team that they were on a losing streak, and then they won. And some of the fans got a little bit overexcited, and they ended up tossing the Colonel Sanders into a river. And the team has not won a game ever since then. So, there's the curse of Colonel Sanders over that baseball team. So it's another cursed baseball team if you want to look into it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Matt did a video on it.
Don't mess with Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, but it is such a
that's
strong
an interesting
association
one,
with Christmas over there that Colonel Sanders is like synonymous with Santa Claus.
Yep. And they dress up their Colonel Sanders statues.
That's awesome.
It was brilliant. The fucking marketing director for the Japan branch of KFC is a fucking genius.
Yeah, and they do actually have to put in catering orders for Christmas Eve like 2 weeks ahead of time.
And some areas even further ahead than that, like they get booked a month or two in advance.
Yeah, the idea that anyone here would have Kentucky Fried Chicken for Christmas dinner is just like what, but.
Around here, KFC is kind of second rate. I'd rather go to Popeyes. I'm craving Popeyes. Now you guys are talking about fried chicken.
We don't have Pop. See, you're lucky. We don't have Popeyes in the UK. So
I live near a major highway. So on the hill by my house, we call it Hamburger Hill. And it's not the historical Hamburger Hill. It's just because you could find almost any available fast food restaurant in America is on that hill.
And that's the hill you're going to die on.
we haven't got many of the big chains over here. We've basically got McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC. That's pretty much it. You know,
Burger King does not F around either. They're around the world. They're in Australia
too. Makes a really
too.
good joke, doesn't it? They built a KFC at the top of the hill, and that's the hill I'm going to die on.
The good thing is they really did, but I have to walk up the hill to get there. So I'll live a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Ironically, I was there on the Hamburger Hill today.
So the idea is to burn the calories off after you've eaten the KFC, really.
Well, I took my mom out to a classy lunch at IHOP.
I like IHOP.
It was so bomb, and you know what? My mom and we thought about it, and this is because we try to go out every Saturday. Ever since my dad passed, we try to do things more, you know. But long story short, I went out. I took her to IHOP, and she looks at me, and she looked at her phone, and it had been almost a year to the date since her and I had sat in a restaurant. Because that's what we do. We'd always go out to eat somewhere, but everything's been so closed. And they're just now opening things up. And they did not let anyone within 12 feet of us. So it wasn't 6 feet, man. I couldn't have thrown a salt shaker at somebody. They were so far away.
The big chain that tried to come over here, but they only ever got one outlet open. And it lasted like 3 months and they were gone. It was Chick-fil-A. It was mainly because their reputation for all their like homophobic shit followed
so
them.
I'm going to say something.
Had preceded them, shall we say, when they tried to open in the UK. They were open for like 3 or 4 months, and there was literally every single day there was a protest outside their outlet, and then they were to the point where they're like, "Fuck this," and just left the UK altogether.
Heck yeah!
Good. Fuck them.
Do you know I've never been in one before? I've never physically walked into a Chick-fil-A just because it scares me that the manager could pray over me. If a stranger touches me, I put my elbow.
Chick-fil-A before you dig in.
No, but I watch way too much Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and you always see that manager praying over somebody in a Chick-fil-A. It's gross. Yeah. It's weird. It's just it's weird.
Well, I've never been to Chick-fil-A just because I had heard all the stuff about how they were about LGBT before there was ever one close to me. So
I had been to Chick-fil-A when I was a kid, because there was one in the mall, and it was every Boxing Day. My family, like my mom, would take me and my sisters shopping, and Boxing Day is the day after Christmas. So for those that don't know, but and there was a Chick-fil-A in the mall, and this was when I was a little kid. Like, this was before I even like really understood what my own sexuality was. Like, I knew that I had crushes on boys and girls, but like I was younger than 10, and then as I became a teenager, I stopped eating there. Just like I used to love I think it's Berea pasta, but I won't eat their pasta anymore because their fucking CEO came out like as a fucking raging homophobe. And
I gotta go to my pantry now. I have to go to my.
And it pissed me off because I like the pasta, but I can't do it. Like, I can't support homophobes.
No, I know what you're saying. There's quite a few things that I don't buy anymore. I don't buy Kraft macaroni and cheese, but it's for a whole other reason. Then the chemicals they put in their cheese is the same ingredients made for lube and jet fuel. Why.
See the ones that used to make me laugh was
I know why you don't.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was going to say the ones that used to make me laugh. There was there's a cosmetics company called Secret that had an outlet in my hometown. And we go every time I go in the blooming shopping mall, they try to accost you, you know, to try and, you know, like it's almost like they wouldn't let you pass this. You bought something. I soon found a good way around that, and that's when I bought my because they were an Israeli company, and when I used to walk with a little banner on my wrist that said "Free Palestine," they started to leave me alone. Because I had to tell them every single time that I was supporting BDS, you know. So,
well, while we're at this point, because I don't know how much longer we'll go for, but I will have to end by 12:30 my time, and I'm pretty sure Kitty's going to get pretty tired soon too, as well.
I'm okay.
Everyone else, but we'll keep going as long as we can. But the three things that we've offered up on stuff, and a big thank you to Kitty especially for this. If we make it to $1,700, and remember that's Australian dollars, not American dollars, so it actually works out cheaper for you guys. But hey, if we make it to 1,700 Australian dollars,
that's why.
Yeah, that's why it works out funny. If we make it to $1,700, I will be demonstrating to the viewers that I don't have a gag reflex, and good old Blackie here is going to have a bit of a fun time.
Why do you always get your sexy voice on when you start talking about Blackie, huh? You have a crush.
Let's get on to the sexy offerings if we make it. I think we said if somebody donated $500, but I think we can make it if we get to 2,000 Australian dollars. We're going to do Will, myself, and Kitty are going to do a very special naked what the fuck show where we talk about kink.
And you'll finally get to find out what Jupiter nipples are.
Why are you talking about what? Can you repeat that?
I'm not playing.
They're so big they've got their own gravity.
My nipples are...
For that stream, I will be naked, except I will have Chris tie me up with some of the rope. So I will have a corset of rope. So I will be in bondage rope for the kink stream.
That is awesome. I might dig out my leathers.
So is this going to be like a pirate theme?
Naked. It's a naked stream. Well, semi-naked because we're going to be kinked. So it'll be fun.
I have some like America wrestling. I have America wrestling. I don't know, what do you call those? What do you call the stuff that wrestlers wear? Shorts? They're not shorts. They're just really padded.
Singlet.
Yeah. Well, it's only the bottom half. I just like standing in the mirror and looking at myself.
And we've got
so I wear them all the time.
At the top of the thing,
not boxers.
If an individual donates $1,000 or more, Kitty is going to send them a personalized topless picture of herself as a big thank you for helping out with everything. So get your money out, Pepper, and help me help shift me out of everybody's way, because
if you pitch it 1,000, I won't put those trunks on and wear them.
Yeah, I've heard that shit before.
I won't, but I'm telling you right now, I will.
You're gonna stand up for what you believe in, aren't you, Will?
They're in this room, but my voice is gone, and so is my brain, kind of.
Okay, Ox, for $1,000 and a single donation of $1,000, Kitty will send a personalized topless picture to the person who donates that money. So if you do donate that money, which I think is unlikely, but if somebody does, you don't donate anonymously, or we won't know who to send it to.
Exactly. So
as far as the other ones go, it's a total. So if we get to $1,700, Blackie has a good time. If we get to and that one has to happen during the stream.
This is why I try not to do this. Because you're gonna lose track. You're gonna lose track of how many times you said you're gonna get naked. This is why I didn't do this in the beginning, because I was gonna start with like tube socks, then my wrestling shorts. You know.
And
if you really want to see what Jupiter nipples are,
I will. Even though the stream ends, I will end the PayPal. Sometime tomorrow my time, so on Easter Sunday in the US. If we reach the 2,000 mark after the stream's ended, we will still do the stream. I don't know. I can't speak for Kitty on her photo, But
No, like the photo, like up until the fundraiser closes,
Good goal.
if somebody
donates that,
donates $1,000, they get the photo.
they get the photo. So that's the way that works. But if we have to get to the $1,700 during the stream for that one to happen, because I'll do it on the stream. I don't want to post it as a separate video. It's more likely I'll get in trouble with YouTube if I post it as a separate video. Mind you, with the stuff that I've done on YouTube,
it almost makes me wish that I was rich. But if I had,
mind you, if I was rich, I wouldn't be doing this. So.
I'd probably like just send it to you directly, and then go buy a bunch of more like pedals and stuff for my amp, and then play more better blues. It's just how I am. Sorry. I do like boobies though. They're awesome.
Oh, you'll love mine.
Obviously, we're not enticing anybody with our offerings. Of course, we don't have a lot of viewers anymore either, which doesn't help. Because we haven't had any donations for a while. So.
We could go the other way with this.
Oh, you'll love mine, he says.
We could go the other way with this and say donate or Jeff will get naked. No one wants to see that. So,
if we don't reach $1,700, Jeff will get naked.
You know, a long time ago.
How do you not want to see the harmonica man's chest zipper?
I forgot. So a long time ago, I was walking with my ex-girlfriend, and we walked past this group of dudes, and they whistled. And I turned around and I said, "Thanks, I work out." Not one of those motherfuckers said a word after that. I was like, "Thank you, I work out," and we laughed at them. We were loudly laughing because they didn't say a word after we walked past them. Good times. Good times.
I think it's highly unlikely.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people, but honestly, I'm good for it. Like, if it happens,
It's been tweeted,
hey.
so yeah, if anybody pays any attention to my Twitters, although the
And
tweet
so the
does
two-
say during on the stream, but if it's done after, I might retweet it later and say it's up until the fundraiser ends.
And the two godlesses
women get the attention while you can, because it's not going to be much longer. You can.
And both godlesses have threatened to take their clothes off if you don't pay $1,000. So
pick
your poison. Pick your poison.
It's carrot stick here.
And I've been eating cornbread and drinking Pepsis for 1.5 years and not doing sit-ups.
Yeah,
Ryan said months ago.
Rum and
I had
Coke
said months
for
ago
me.
that I'd do a naked stream with Jen,
ahead,
but I
Rebel,
just
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
bringing it up because I thought that would drive people away. So
I'm looking like a baked potato right now, Perp. So don't worry.
Hey, I've lost weight during the pandemic. So, I mean,
it's like.
I
It's
don't
like that
know
old-
how
it's
you
that
did
one-
that, Kitty.
Really?
Tell me your secret.
That's different.
Hold on. Sorry. What were you gonna say, Jeff?
I was going to use that old joke. Look, I have the body of a god, just to pity its Buddha.
or Dionysus.
Yeah.
Who's the god of
Wasn't
drinking?
Dionysus the god of wine?
Oh, he was
Dionysus, yeah, was the god of wine.
55 gallon vats. I'd go to that party with a toga
Right?
and no clothes on.
Hang on, a toga
An
is
orgy?
clothes. How do you have a toga? Or you just carry the toga in and go, hey, dudes!
True, because technically back then everybody was kind of just free, out in the open in the air.
Born free.
I think I would be a satyr, Pan's kid, and I'd be like, Attack of the Wiener Man.
Does your dick hang low? Does it wobble to and
Wobble
fro?
to and fro. I know that song. as
So,
well.
Oh, wow, shit, yeah.
like, there's
Can you
some
tie it
dark
in a
shit
knot?
in mythology, though. Like, all right, anybody here seen the Harry Potter? Like, read the books, seen the films?
yeah, I read the
Yes.
books.
I've seen all of them
No.
except for
So-
the last two.
Does everybody
The part-
here hate J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, like, but you know what? I think the work is separate from her.
Oh,
like,
I
it's
know,
a
I
whole
100%
world,
agree. I've always
and
said that.
But anyways, so like for anyone who doesn't understand, like when they're in the Forbidden Forest and Professor Umbridge, that little frog-faced twat that like literally tortured Harry, when she got carried off by the centaurs, like in mythology, when that happened to somebody, it was not a good time for them because it was a gang R word with giant horse sticks. So like,
Whoa.
it's dark.
Can I just say that if your twat looks like a frog, please go and see your gynecologist.
Yeah.
Oh, and for everybody who it is a charity stream, so I will wave my V around. Always take care of your sex toys.
Oh, definitely.
Always take care of them.
I really
clean them, wash them, take care of them.
It was it was actually in the middle of a stream, and we were talking about sex toys. I think it was early last year. So I dug out my box with all my sex toys in that I hadn't opened for about 3 years, because all the main ones that I do use are in a drawer down here, and this other one had my other stuff in it. And I opened it up, and the latex is all melted into each other. Because that can happen with latex.
Yeah.
So there was all these dildos in this horrible moldy mess together, and the vibrators and the strap-on and everything, and it was disgusting. But I should have taken a photo of it because it kind of looked arty, except that in case you didn't know, the latex and stuff like that goes a weird color when it starts to melt. So it really looks disgusting.
Also, take care of your sex partners. Aftercare is important.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even if you're not doing kinky shit, aftercare is important.
In both directions, please. You know, care for each other. Don't just roll over and go to sleep after
My
sex.
sex toys haven't texted me in months.
I have agreed to all sorts of kinky shift just for the aftercare.
Aftercare is important. Even in vanilla, like, basic bitch sex, like, aftercare is still important. Like... but it's more important if you're hurting somebody.
I'll just say, if you want more of this talk, if you want us to do this more sexy and sexy voices, like ASMR sexy voice, and also naked or in kink clothes, etc. If we make it to $2,000 on this fundraiser before the fundraiser ends, which will be in about 12 hours, no, about 24 hours, that stream is going to happen. So get your coin out, and every little bit gets us there slowly, and we will be doing this stream in a couple of weeks.
The way Kitty nodded her head there is like, this stream's happening either way.
It made me laugh.
There's probably a strong chance
because I am confident that we're gonna I'm confident that we'll get close. If we get close to that goal and don't quite make it,
we will offer it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I've helped with quite a few fundraisers over the last couple of years, and I've been surprised by how many times in the last couple hours we have gotten anonymous donations for multiple hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, Purple, the jars that I set out for Diana last week, even though she's not ready to accept any help or anything, she's still going through the process of asking the state and them coming together to get her the dialysis. I have to know what her copay is before I can actually go forward with this charity that I'm doing for her.
Well, and that's part of the problem. She doesn't really know what the costs are going to be yet.
$650 overnight. $650. Wasn't even 12 hours when I pulled the cans. I'm like, sorry, we got to wait on Lavender Lady to get her shit together. I'm sorry, what?
Kevin said he should do the helicopter on a stream. I said, if you're going to do that, you might have to put a sock on it, or else it will get taken down. You have to be kind of creative to get away with these things.
I wore the wrong sock this morning.
We could do an OnlyFans version.
I think everyone here just wants to get naked. You know, this is just a scream and a cry for I just want to be naked.
Jeff, what are you doing?
I don't need to scream and cry. Get naked. Oh, I thought
But
Jeff
no.
was getting naked for a sec.
Can you make money at something like that?
Oh,
Sorry?
harmonica man, there
Yeah,
is somebody for everybody.
I'm showing plenty of arm. Look, you know.
Yeah, you
Oh,
are. You're
that's
showing a
sexy
ton of
arm.
skin. You're showing a ton of skin.
No, yeah, no, but
That's
no
just
one wants to
weird
see
to
me get
me.
naked.
I'm sure there are people who do, Jeff.
Same
How
here.
long- how
I have
long
so many
have we been going?
scars on my body that I don't think
Yeah,
anybody wants to see me.
most of them are in their padded cells, though, Jen. So they're safe and locked up.
Well, you know what? You have achieved your goal, and
I have
that
achieved my
is
goal.
that's clap worthy.
Yes.
I'm just hoping that we can get to the 2000, not only because I want to do that stream, but
Oh, I so
also because, you know, the trash bin that she had to rent ended up costing $500. So that's, you know, eating into her funds that she needs
Mhm.
for the new house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I figured the extra 500
Yep.
over the
Covers the
goal
skip.
would then negate that added cost.
And the roof as well.
Roof. Yes,
I just
well,
like saying
as I
roof.
said earlier in the stream, my brother is selling his car to cover the cost of doing the roof. So,
Are you
admittedly,
kidding
at the
me?
moment, he is not allowed to drive
Really?
because of his condition. Yeah, he's not allowed to drive, so the car is an extra expense at the moment as well. But
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my hummus.
Makes more
that's
sense.
part of his medical condition. Like I said, it's not just about I want to
I'm
move
sorry.
house.
What?
That part of the moving the house is to do with my daughter and to do with my brother more so than to do with me. Because Rob, with his illness, being closer to where the family are and everything is ideal. Because then he's got support not just from me but from the rest of the family, and stuff like that. And he is very ill. I mean, he is working his butt off as much as he can to help me, but he's limited in what he can do. He spends a large percentage of his day in bed because he's just not capable. If you look at the problems Diana has with her illness, Rob's are similar, except he doesn't have to go through dialysis all the time. Well, I mean, no, Diana's not, but she should be. But for Rob, every 4 weeks he's in hospital having fluid drained off him. He is on enormous fluid restrictions. He's only allowed 1.2 liters of fluid a day, just to make sure that fluid doesn't build up because his liver's
Does he
failing.
absorb
No, he's got liver failure.
that bad?
Yeah, he absorbs that bad. He has.
Oh, so it can decide whether or not it should keep it or discard it.
Yeah. This comes down to, especially with the options of a transplant. Like, yeah, having the transplant will solve the problems of building up fluid, provided his body doesn't reject the liver. And then, of course, even if it doesn't, he's on immunosuppressants for the rest of his life, which puts him in great danger for the rest of his life as well for anything else. And he's also got bad kidneys, so being on the immunosuppressants with bad kidneys is not necessarily the best thing. So there's a whole heap of issues there as to what they do, and they don't want to give him a double transplant.
Right.
And so he needs care, he needs help, and being closer to family will help with that. Will take some of the stress off me from having to do everything. Not that Rob needs everything done for him, but he needs somebody there for him, because if he has a fall or something else like that, he can't be on his own for prolonged periods of time. Even though I don't necessarily have to do anything, I'm there as the moral support. I'm there to help him do things. I'm there to make sure he doesn't have a fall or whatever else. I mean, my brother went from this guy who
a lot of people
who
don't
could lift
get
half
that.
a house and was doing stuff all the time. So he walks with a walking stick now because he cannot do stuff on his own, and this has happened within 12 months. So it has been an enormous impact on him. And then with my daughter, with her depression and everything, she wanted to be closer to the rest of the family too. She wanted to, because her elder sister, I'm talking about my younger daughter here, but my eldest daughter lives down where I'm moving to, so she'll be closer to her. They'll be able to spend more time together. It also takes the stress off me because she can go and spend time with the other people in the family, so I'm not constantly trying to look after two people. Because of how sick Rob's been, my eldest daughter has been staying with my youngest daughter has been staying with her older sister for a little while, just to take some stress off me, so I can deal with what I've had to do for my brother. So it's a lot, and that's why this move was important. And regardless of whether I had the money to do it or not, I had to do it. Will knows about this because he's had all the discussions since it was started, pretty much, and it's been very stressful for me trying to deal with that and everything. So I am eternally grateful to everybody who's helped, everybody who's put their hand in the pocket and donated a little bit of money. Everything is going to help as far as that goes. And as I said, I'm not physically capable of doing a lot of the things that needed to be done as far as shifting goes. Furniture is too heavy. Some of the furniture here I'm not even taking because it's going to be too hard to do that. Fortunately, the house that I bought came with a whole heap of beds already in it. So beds are staying in this house. They're just going to stay here. And I'm not even going to try and shift them. But there is furniture here that has to go down.
Do you have moving straps?
I do, but part of the point of this fundraiser was to pay for a moving firm to help shift, and I got one who's doing it relatively cheaply.
So yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Cover the moving.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, so the $1,500 does cover the moving firm, but it hasn't
Harmonica
covered. It does not cover anything else.
Doesn't have to think about anything but blues.
Yeah. It doesn't cover anything else. It doesn't cover that skip. It doesn't help out with the work that I have to do when I get there. Now, I did know buying the house that there would be work to do, and I am aware that in the future, when eventually COVID becomes something that's manageable and Will and I can actually be together over here, Will will be here to help me do some of that. But I'm gonna have to get that done a lot of it done well before Will's got even a chance in hell of getting here.
Aww.
So this stuff has to happen, and I'm fairly scared, to be honest.
Got to get done.
So I'm eternally grateful to everyone who's donated and helped.
What a conundrum you're in.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Welcome to my life, people. It's not a sob story though. I mean, this is something that I was going to have to happen. It was going to have to happen one way or the other. And doing fundraising like this means I don't have to try and turn to family and say, hey, can I borrow some money off you? This is something I don't have to pay back to somebody else at some point, which adds extra stress to you. As you all know, the more money you owe around to different people, I already owe my mum $3,500 towards the deposit on the house. And that's something I'm going to have to pay back to her at some point. So,
but it's family.
Yeah, it's family, and she will be fine with how long it takes. But it's one of those things you have to balance that out and everything. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without my brother's help because he put a whole heap of money in towards the deposit of the house.
Put the teeth in.
So.
Now, Jen, as somebody who does need help, like I being disabled, like yes. I get it. And so as somebody on the receiving end of caring, like, thank you. Not everybody is able to do what you're doing, looking after, family members that need that help. And honestly, like, they're just now starting to study it. Like, it can literally cause PTSD in people. The amount of stress that, whether it be end of life care or disability care that you give for a family member, it puts a lot of strain on you, and you're a fucking hero for doing it. Thank you.
I also see the other side of it too. I see the level of depression my brother gets out of not being able to help. My daughter was the same. When she couldn't do something, the frustration in herself, the level of depression it can reach to because you're relying on somebody else when you don't want to have to rely on somebody.
It's hard.
It is really hard. If you're the person being cared for, it's hard, and not just from the point of view of your disability. It's just the fact that you're reliant on other people is hard. So there's all that things that make stresses. Being in a caring person who needs carer, and a carer situation is incredibly stressful. People will go, "Oh no, you're what." Because there is a carer's pension in Australia. As somebody who gives caring, I get a pension from the government that helps. And that's amazing because it means I don't have to work full-time to be there for my family members. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to get by on and survive on. And because I was able to get a cheap house that's doing up, I'm actually paying less in repayments than I would have in rent, which is absolutely freaking awesome as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So yeah, I love that. That's amazing. That makes this very manageable. But even so, it is still incredibly hard. And then of course you've got the stress on top of that, because there is hoops you have to continually jump through to stay on a carer's pension, regardless of what you do. I had to fill out forms to get to have my brother added to my caring pension, because I already have one for my daughter Kylie. I don't get any more money for this, but by adding Rob to it, it means if Kylie decides that she wants to spend half her time with her older sister and half the time with me, just to take some stress off me, which is awesome, I won't lose my pension, because I would otherwise, because she isn't with me all the time. It's one of those crazy things. So I've added Rob to it. To add Rob to it, the doctor had to fill out the form. So like, they've got things in the form, does this person need help to do X thing? Now normally if you're reading this, you just go, no, they don't need any help, because most of the time they don't. If you fill out the form like that, you will never get the pension for it. The doctor has to fill it out as though if it ever happens, it's a tick. Because so many people, well, not because people cheat the system, but because there's this psychological thing for politicians that people cheat the system. The majority of people who need the system do not cheat it. They legitimately need the help that's there. There is this idea that people are just dog bludgers and they don't want to work, or they just want to avoid working by pretending that they're caring for somebody else. That's bullshit, and it shouldn't happen. You need to change your ideas about people who care are doing a valuable service for other people. People who are unemployed are not unemployed by choice. Most of them are not unemployed by choice, and those sort of attitudes really need to stop.
Correct.
Jen, you believe me? I mean,
I know you have the same issues in the UK.
Will you not believe the amount of problems we've had with the companies that the government have employed to, analyse what people's entitled, and the amount of people with legitimate disabilities that have been declared fit for work in the last 10 years is disgraceful.
That's insane.
It's people with some really serious disabilities or serious medical issues, they're declaring them fit for work.
I know, it is absolutely amazing. There was a case in Australia where there was a husband and wife, where the husband was the carer for his wife. His wife was dying of fucking cancer, and they declared that he had to go back to work because he wasn't needed to be there caring for her.
Oh no, we've had one.
Fuck off with that.
We've had one worse here. We've actually had someone who was dying of cancer being declared fit for work.
Yeah, no, I heard about that one too. It's just amazing that and their excuses are, but people cheat the system. Most people do not cheat the system. All you need is a form that a doctor has to sign, and to confirm that this person needs full-on care or this person is incapable of work, and that should be enough. It really should. Yeah. And of course, if the doctor lies about it, the doctor should risk losing their license to practice. That's all you need to do.
The thing is here that the people who are declaring, making these declarations, this person's fit for work, these are not trained people who have any training in, anything medical whatsoever.
It's the doctors, it's the experts. I mean, my brother has his GP, his specialist. He's referred to, but he hasn't seen them yet. The transplant clinic where they're going to do a full detail run, and all this is documented. He has things. It's going to take them. He hasn't got his disability pension yet because it's going to take them 18 weeks to process it. How do you justify 18 weeks to process an application?
Wow.
When you've got all that documentation there that says this is the case.
They're full of shit.
It is absolute bullshit. Now, at least in Australia, they will backdate him to the date that he applied for this. But in the interim, he doesn't get the full money, which doesn't help when you've got all these expenses. And there are expenses, even though we've got fully covered medical. there's still all the extra traveling for that. There's all the medication. There's the medications that aren't covered for that, and all these other things, because not everything's covered in Australia. So some medications we still have to pay for and things like that. In the meantime, we have to foot that bill as well. So I'm like, yeah, do something about this. People do not cheat the systems on things like this.
I'm going to have to drop off in a sec.
I think we might actually wind up, because I think we're getting to that kind of point anyway.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead.
And I do have to be somewhere. I have to go and see the guy who's playing.
It's way late.
We've been at it for a while.
We've been going more than 3 hours here.
And my voice
so
will
I think
be
we'll
gone.
Wind up. Those who are still here, does anyone have anything to show?
You guys had no stamina.
Anything to show? Jeff, you got something coming up tonight?
I should. I think I'm streaming with Noodle today. I'm not sure, because I know Noodle hasn't been too well over the past week or so, and I don't know how. So theoretically, I'm streaming with Noodle at 1 p.m. my time, but definitely after that, I'm doing Rings stream, which I think it's got a rock opera this week. I think it's Beethoven's Last Night, which I'm going to have to listen to that album in a few hours. I know I've listened to it before, but it's been a while.
Sounds like a game of golf, doesn't it? Beethoven's Last Night.
It's actually
Sounds like something.
Little,
sounds like something to rock out to.
Final act and a good play.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. There's quite a good little story to it, actually.
Shit, quit it. I'm trying to drink here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Randy, what do you got coming up?
Oh, jeepers. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays, I have Shedding Mysticism. And this is where I have people who study science and different modern topics of basically shedding the mysticism of the mind of fraudulent statements, myths, what have you, and just trying to break down the truth so people can understand what is actually factual and use that as a template of how to move forward and use their mind for critical thinking. So Shedding Mysticism is the channel. Thursdays at 3 p.m. usually, and it just depends on which guests I have. I might have them later because a lot of people work. And Saturdays I have Live with a Harmonica Man, looking for musicians and people talking about music and music theory and just hanging out and BS and just kind of, what we're doing here in the later fact of this. So that's basically what I have going on, other than,
Awesome.
I'm looking for a mail order bride who knows how to cook some pie. And I don't think that I can afford the postage.
I'll tell
So
you
I
off
might be
stream.
starting
I
a
have
campaign to get postage for pie and a wife.
I have quite a few horror stories, so I'll tell you off stream.
Is that the American Pie? Is it?
Horror story?
It's my accent.
Horror stories.
It's my accent. Horror. It sounds the same coming out of my mouth, so I just pronounce it horror. It's the same.
The horror
same
sounds
word.
the same coming out.
And
Okay.
you're saying
Well, that's basically the only things that I have to shill, other than I'm single and all that shit.
You're saying that as a joke about the postage, but pretty much up until World War II, it was fairly common practice for people to mail their children to out-of-state relatives.
Yep, I was gonna bring that up, but I was waiting for Randy to finish. You beat me to it,
Yeah.
Kurt.
Yeah, I forget what year it was that the post office finally put a regulation that you couldn't mail people.
Oh.
Well, it was safer and cheaper than sending them like on a train.
Really? You put them in a crate and post them somewhere?
Well,
And that
no,
is
you would
why
just put
I
a stamp
never
on
got
them.
to
Ah.
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
That
you
was
wouldn't put them in a
memorable.
crate. You'd literally
They
just pin
wouldn't
the
let me
postage to them.
camp out in the crate.
Oh, wow.
They just pinned postage to their clothes and just give them to the mail carrier when he came by.
And then they had an escort to take
That
them
sounds so awesome.
the whole way.
Oh, wow. That's actually kind of cool. To be
Oh
honest.
wow.
So Pip, what have you got coming up?
That reminds me of my gigolo days.
Yeah, nothing special planned this week. My regular, my just casual chats Wednesdays at noon and Thursdays at midnight Central Time. And then I'm usually on with you and Will on Thursday evenings, and Friday evenings I do the shills.
Awesome. Kitty.
I was planning on doing a stream yesterday, but I've been having more bad pain days than good pain days. Hence why I'm coloring this image in rather than doing anything at my sewing machine, because I'm at least in my chair, like stretched out a bit, more comfortable. But I am planning on doing it this month because I couldn't make it for Autism Awareness Day, but I will do it during Autism Awareness Month. And Will and Purple will be there along with Sam Chaos, and we're going to be talking about Autism Speaks, the charity, and how fucking awful they are, and also just about living with autism, like from the carer side, me and Will as parents of ASD children, and from, the perspective of an autistic person, which is where Perp and Sam come in, because I want both sides of that equation represented. And we all hate Autism Speaks, so we can all just fucking shit on them.
Keep me well informed.
They are
because I also have an autistic child, but that I do not speak to, because of his mother, which is a cum guzzling thunder cunt. But that's another story.
But
so I'd like to be on that show.
Yep.
But basically, I plan on having essentially 3 acts in my little stream. And the first one, I will have a pre-done video that I will play, kind of getting everybody on the same page with kind of the greatest hits of awful when it comes to Autism Speaks, so everybody knows just how atrocious they are. Then we'll discuss that. And then the second act would be split kind of into 2, where it's the carer side and the caree side, or the autistic person side. And then the third act would be kind of a Q&A if anybody has any questions about anything that we've talked about, or just general discussion, just any way to kind of get people that actually live with autism either caring for someone or having it, and let them speak for themselves rather than a multi-million-dollar organization that is more focused on treating them like they're damaged and broken and need to be fixed, as opposed to doing good for them.
Absolutely.
So, Will,
I will, announce it.
What's that?
Why don't you do our final shills and end us up?
I can't do it with my usual thunder, but I'll try. Hold on. Okay. Hi. Hold on, try it again. Hi. One more time. Hi. I'm Godless Sewing. You should subscribe to the Godless Sewing channel.
Oh my God!
Every Thursday,
I beat a little.
we do the What the Fuck stream on Little Jen's Corners channel.
Little Jen's Corners.
Tomorrow, I will not be able to speak whatsoever. All right, hold on. I got to do. Hold on. Hi, I'm Godless Sewing. Everybody should go subscribe to the Godless Sewing channel. I talk too much, so I'm losing my mind and my voice at the exact same time. Every Thursday, Jen from Jen's Little Corner, and now the lovely Kitty and I will be having the What the Fuck show. So be there or be square.
Fuck you, Will. You literally just sent me cataplectic. I can't move my arm.
And I'm not wearing hockey pads.
No, If I laugh too hard, I end up paralyzed temporarily in my arms and legs. So like I have to like stop laughing and then give it a sec and then like it'll come back. But you literally just paralyzed me, Will. Fuck you.
Sorry. My voice is so shot. I've been to stream every day since I think like last Sunday or something. My voice is mad. It's mad at me.
Stop talking.
Yeah, sure. Love you, Will.
It's hard. It's hard.
Will, give Kitty a chance to recover.
Alright, give your voice a chance, babe. So again, thank you to everybody who's joined us today. To Jeff, to Randy, to Purple, to Sam, to B, to Kevin. I've missed people. To Jay.
Oh yeah, Jay was here.
Who else was on? Everyone's links are in the description anyway.
Did you mention B?
Everyone
I
here?
did mention
Purple.
B. I did mention B.
Mhm.
Yeah, a mental blank. But thank you all. Thank you to everybody who has donated. At least we added an extra $50 to the total today, which is something.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get up to the 2,000 so we can do that stream because that would be amazing. But if we get close, we're going to do it anyway.
If not, you got Jeff and I. Just remember.
Yeah.
They're the stick.
You'll end up, instead of a what the fuck show, you're going to end up with a what the bleh show.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, thank you all, and if I'm unpacked in time, I'm hoping we can do. It'll be a little less properly organized because we're probably going to have to do it all from StreamYards next week. But hopefully we will actually do a what the fuck show next Thursday. That's the plan. I will be in the new house then, but hopefully I'm organized enough to actually do the stream. But I should be able to at least set it up so that Will and Kitty can run it even if I'm not able to hop on it. So that'll be good. And thank you all for joining us, and have a great one, everyone. Love you all.
And be Batman, and don't choke on the selfie stick.
See, I was waiting for you to say that for me. Bye.